All these people are here just to see the officers sworn in and new promotions for fire. That makes you feel good. Okay, we'll go again now. Today is June 18th, 2024. Call the village board meeting order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Bush?
Here.
Trustee Frankie?
Here.
Trustee Jerish?
Here.
Trustee Miller?
Here.
Trustee Prochnow?
Here.
Trustee Schmidt?
Here.
All board members are present. Pastor Jonah, you're not here, are you? I did not see you. Okay, Pastor's not here. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone please rise. The flag's to my right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Folks, please be seated. We next have the approval of the minutes of May 28th, 2024.
I move that we approve the minutes of May 28th, 2024, and dispense with the reading.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Prochnow, a second by trustee Frankie. Any questions, comments, discussions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, let the record show unanimous approval. Tonight, we have next the mayor and board of trustees report. We'll get going on that in just a second here. First off, I want to thank everyone here. I think this is phenomenal. I know it's not all here for the swearing-ins, even though it would be nice if it was. It's for the other issues going on. I'm glad to see the public involved, public giving input, public here to speak their minds, give their views. That's what good government is all about. And we thank you for being here and being part of it. As we promised the public, we would get notice out well in advance, which we did. Everything was delivered to people's homes, the letters, to know to be here, and I'm glad that worked out well. A few items on the mayor's report. First off, May 30th, who went to the prime topping off? Who was there for that? Trustee Schmidt was there. Trustee Bush was there. Prime Data Center, it did a topping out. Anyone that's gone down Oakton and Bussey sees that big steel girders going up. That is from Prime Development. They're building a data center there. And they did a topping off ceremony there. Matter of fact, they are filling up so fast, they're going to build the other two buildings almost right away. They're expanding that first building already that they finished. They're going to do the full build out there. It's going well. And that leads me into something I was going to talk about here for a second. I know a lot of people talk about, we talk a lot about data centers. And I know people chirping on different sites, all this talking about, oh, we got too many data centers, oh, they're building them all over the place, too many. And a lot of people saying, what good are data centers? No money, no jobs, anything like that. So I had staff put together some information for me. Believe it or not, our first data center came to the village in 2000. Not a big one, not many of them, but they actually started back in 2000. Since 2000, so over 24 years, we have fees we charge called permit fees when they build buildings. Data centers are very expensive buildings to build, finish, build out. Since 2000, data centers have paid almost $22 million in permit fees to this village. That's about $1 million a year. But to show how it's accelerated, in the past 10 years, data centers have paid $17 million out of that 21. In the past 5 years, almost $11 million. Almost half the money for data centers permit fees have come in 5 years. That's over $2 million a year. Now, right now, we've got about a little under 4 million square feet of data centers built. Give you perspective. Our business park is almost 65 million square feet. It's the biggest in North America. So it's what, about 7% of the business park? Not that big. We've got about 6 million additional square feet in the pipeline. That's plans that have locations, already done some design work, some have submitted applications, all that. So at the end of the day, we'll be running about 10 million square feet. Again, about 1/6, 1/7 of the business park. At one time, we were known as Printers Row in Elk Grove. We had most printers in the state in Oak Grove Village. But again, this right now is data centers. Still, there's 55 million square feet of non-data centers. But what do we like about it is, if it goes along the same projection, that additional 6.2 million square feet they're going to be building over the next 3 to 5 years will bring in just permit fees. $35+ million to this village. $35 million in 5 years. That's $7 million a year if we average it out. We collect $14 million total in property taxes. The residential side is under $6 million. We'll collect more each year in data center permit fees only than all the residents pay in property taxes to this village. That's the kind of economic impact data centers have on a community. That's why every town's fighting to get them. Hoffman Estates, the old Sears Center, is going to a data center now. Data center. United Airlines headquarters in Mount Prospect. The big campus, that's all data centers. Data centers are used to provide cloud service, storage service for internets. Your iPhones, your computers, everything. It is growing exponentially. They can't keep up with it. Microsoft's a prime example up there at our tech park. So that's the kind of economic impact that has on a community like Elk Grove. That's also why you have the lowest property taxes in all Northwest Cook County, because we've got other streams of revenue. And remember, that's just permit fees. That's not the electric tax, they're not the property tax, not the water tax. That's just permit fees. That's why it's going to generate tens of millions of dollars to this community, to the schools, to the park district, to the library, to the county, to all the governments. It's a great thing to have. It's a phenomenal thing. At minimal, very minimal impact on village services or on roads and the rest. It's a win-win. So remember, we're 65 million square feet. Right now, data centers are 4. When they build out what we have on the pipeline right now, they'll be at 10. It's 55 million square feet of everything else. We're still the second largest manufacturing base outside Chicago in the entire state. You know, Stern Pinball just expanded, Creative Works expanding. These are all manufacturers. They're growing, getting bigger. And they're doing it because Elk Grove is the place to be. Every one of these data centers say, Mayor, we can go anywhere in this world. We choose Elk Grove for a reason. Because you got everything we want. You got roads, airport, you got fiber optics, you got water, you got electricity, and you got a government that works with private sector business. That's why we have low vacancy rates, all-time lows. People want to be in Elk Grove. You should be proud of that. We're proud. In a minute, I'm going to show you even more so how we're proud of Elk Grove. Next, we had a meeting, speaking of manufacturers, Stern Pinball. Maggie Jablonski is filling very nicely tonight for Matt Rohn, our manager, who's out of town. Maggie's doing a great job. But Matt and I went out to see Stern, get an update on the work they're doing. Remember, Stern, again, Stern Pinball, located all their operations, their headquarters here in Elk Grove. The biggest pinball maker in the world chose Elk Grove to be their headquarters. And they're going to be doing a lot of work on the building. They're going to be selling pinball machines out of the location here in Elk Grove. So we're excited to meet with them. Then on May 31st, I know Chief Schmidt. Who else was at their graduation at Grove Junior High? I know you were there.
Just you and I.
You and I. We went to Grove Junior High for their graduation, which went very well. And glad to see the kids. And again, in Elk Grove, we believe in DARE program. Working with young people, early age, teaching them good things, bad things in this world goes a long way. Also teaches these young people that you can be friends and work with the police. Remember in Elk Grove, we back the Blue 1,000,000%. We don't defund the Blue, we back the Blue. They do a great job, and they work with the young people. Remember, the young people are our future. We want to get started with them at a young age to make sure you do well. So their graduation went very well. Also, we had a meeting with the Tollway on June 6th, working on projects going on with the new Western Bypass Road being built on the west side of the airport, east side of the village. Glad about that. And then on that same day, June 6th, we went to Muggs Pizza. Muggs had a grand opening there on Nergy Road. Actually, we had the pizza tonight for dinner. Phenomenal. Great pizza. Good job. We got a lot of good pizza people in Elk Grove. They did a nice job. Then on June 13th, to show you what kind of international destination we are, we went to a grand opening for was it Rodemaker? Rademacher, a company from Holland. The Dutch company came here to Elk Grove. Could have gone anywhere again. They chose Elk Grove to come to. They took an older 40,000 square foot building, completely renovated. It is beautiful. You go down and take a look at it from what it was before to now, night and day. invested a lot of money in Elk Grove, and we're very proud to have them there. And they build cooking machines, machines that make food products. They had a big conveyor belt showing how it works. That's what they make, they sell, and they're one of the biggest producers of machinery like that in the United States now. They come from Holland, bringing the work to Elk Grove. Also, to Ms. Trump, Christine, congratulations. Our finance department won the Certificate of Achievement for Excellent Financial Reporting for 2023. How many years now have you done that?
That's the 40th.
40th year that our book people do a perfect job, and we commend them for that. That's your money they handle, and they do a job that's beyond belief. 40 straight years being recognized for that. So that was very well received. I know we got some swearing-ins we'll get to in a minute here. A couple more items. Claremont Bridge is open as of today. So Claremont Bridge goes across Sauk Creek there between Cypress and Essex is now open, the new bridge. We're going to do a formal kind of opening on Thursday, but it is done. That was the last leg of our flood mitigation project we did working with Bussey Dam and Bussey Woods. If you remember, how many years has that been now? 5, 6 years? I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. Remember how Elko Boulevard flooded all the time? Devon Avenue flooded. Since I was a kid in the 60s, it flooded. If you remember, we finally got fed up. So we wanted Bussey Dam to do what it was supposed to do when it was built in the 1970s. When that dam was built, before that, for us old timers remember, there was no Bussey Lake. The creek ran through the lake, or the woods. So they put in Bussey Dam to help with flood mitigation down the creek there in Elk Grove and DuPage County. Well, because of environmental issues, all that, they locked the dam open, never worked. Well, we finally said enough was enough a few years ago. And so we did something that has never been done in the state of Illinois. We got 2 counties, Cook County and DuPage County, to come together and do a flood mitigation project. Never been done before in the history of the village. So we got Republican Dan Cronin of DuPage County Board, Democrat Tony Preckwinkle, Cook County Board, and Elk Grove, bring them together, and we got the Bussey Dam fixed. It now works, goes up and down. And all of us know we haven't seen Elk Grove Boulevard flood in years. Devon hasn't flooded since we did the project. We fixed a problem that we've had for decades here. And that means a lot. The schools would be impacted when it flooded, businesses would be impacted when it was flooded, residents got impacted. Those townhomes right there on Elk Grove Boulevard, the water get closer and closer every year up to the grounds and houses there. Doesn't happen anymore. We got it fixed. We're very proud of that achievement. We got good money from MWRD. They, first time ever, gave money to the village. They gave us a couple $1 million. We got it done. Well, the last part of it was the bridge going across Sauk Creek at Claremont Road. What it is, it was an old-fashioned bridge, and where it's done, it kind of constricted the water going down the creek, going into DuPage County. Well, 1, the bridge was in bad shape, and 2, we were able to get a lot of grant money, millions of dollars of grant money to help do this project. So it's now complete. It's a new, beautiful bridge, wider. It's got places for people can stand on, look at the creek, fish from the bridge into the creek. Modern day uses, lighting, everything, got finished. And by the new bridge, expands the opening so the water going down the creek can flow evenly. So we've completely did everything we can for flood mitigation now in Elk Grove into DuPage County. And we're excited about that. It's a long time coming and done. So if you're over there, the bridge is open. Go and enjoy it and have fun. Next item I want to talk about. District 59, as I mentioned before, we do our DARE program with them. I'm very proud of them. And I'm not sure if anyone heard about this yet, but they announced it the other day. District 59, starting this August when schools open, especially in junior highs, are going to require all students, when they get to the school, they turn their cell phones off, they put them in their lockers, and they don't touch them till they walk out of school at the end of the day. I say amen. It's about time we start doing that with these young people. And I commend the leadership at the District 59 board. The new leadership, they're stepping up. And that means a lot. These kids don't need those phones during school day, the problems they cause, the issues they cause. So I commend 59 and the board for doing the right thing and doing that. So starting this fall, that's going to happen. Also, in our agenda tonight, we are doing a redevelopment agreement. Remember the old La Quinta Hotel there on Oakton, right by the tollway? We bought that, a couple years ago? Bought it, tore it down, and the old White Castle was down. We have an agreement now. A new Home 2 115-room hotel is coming there, brand new, state-of-the-art. And the front corner, they're still designating for a restaurant to come to the old White Castle. So we're excited about that. It's on the agenda tonight. We'll be passing that. Also on the agenda tonight, we're buying a Prologis building located on Bussey Road, right by the water tanks on Bussey. We're buying that building. We need that for more space utilization for our public works. So that's going to be happening. So Kobe, I know you guys been asking, wishing, praying. That's happening tonight. We're going to pass the thing to buy that building. Also something, who's going to come down and help us down here? Tonight, we got another proud moment to announce here in Elk Grove Village. Yeah, go ahead, take it on down. Tonight, we're proud to announce that Elk Grove Village was named Municipality of the Year in the state of Illinois by Real Estate Journal, top real estate journal in the country. We're named Municipality of the Year. We won it in 2022. We were nice to let someone else win it in 23. We said we wanted it back, so we won it again this year. So we are now, once again, the Municipality of the Year here in Illinois. That comes on top of the fact that our business park in 22 and 23 was named the Business Park of the Year in the country. That's on top of the fact that Public Works was just named highest national accreditation, on top of the fact that Jared's building department just got named top accreditation, on top of the fire department getting the top accreditation and the ISO rating of 1, the best by far, very few have it, on top of the police already being the highest CALIA certified, Tree City for 30-some years, finance for 40 years, you name it, we got it. This village should hold its head high. We are the best of the best in every department that serves this community, whether it's police, fire, public works, building, everything, we're ranked number 1. No one does that. No one else in Illinois, and we're one of only 3 towns in the country to have all the accreditations. So you should be proud of that. We're damn proud of that. And we're excited about that. And that's the banner down there, just gives you a little showing of all the accreditation we have. No one else can brag about this except Elk Grove. And again, like I said earlier, we also do that while having the lowest property taxes in the entire Northwest Cook County. So that's why we do what we do with buildings, developments, projects. It comes back to pay back this community. So we're excited about that, and kudos to this village staff, Maggie and everyone, for a job. Yes, well done. Caroline, we'll do the picture after the okay, another one. Give you an example. You know, we have good neighbors to north, Arlington Heights and all this. Real quick letter I want to read you. Joe and his wife moved last November from Arlington Heights to Elk Grove Village. They absolutely love Elk Grove and wanted me to know that they're doing that the village is doing a fantastic job here. He feels safe, and it's a great place to be with friendly neighbors, great people. By the way, to you, Kobe, Public Works worked on their street this year, did a phenomenal job, very informative with all the notices, very appreciative, and when they did talk to staff, extremely friendly, and they love the police department too. They do that. So here's our neighbors to the north who are not the Municipality of the Year this year. We're doing well with on that. Also, I'm going to mention a young lady, Kathy Campy. Kathy, you probably not know unless you drove by one of the schools over the past 32 years. She has been a crossing guard for 32 years here in Elk Grove, and she just retired. And we want to thank her for all the kids that went by, that she saw and all that. She was always at, I got it here, I got to read it again. Where? Birds Grove, right, Somerset and Wellington. And so she's been out there and right by where Trustee Prochnow lives. And 32 years out there, rain, snow, cold. Again, what makes Elk Grove a great place. Got people willing to step up and do that on behalf of the community.
Mayor, just so people may not know, it's Kitty Camp.
Kitty
She
Camp.
goes by Kitty, so
Okay.
it rolls off your tell them kitty camp.
So-
And she was a little sad to retire, that's for sure, but
But long time.
long time.
Long time. Almost done before we get to swearing-ins. Anyone saw the paper today, the Daily Herald? You know, I love working with the press and all that, do a great job, but also I get a little upset when they don't embrace the full truth on things. And the paper today said Elk Grove has one of the lowest tree coverage, green city, forest, suburban forest out there. We're only 17%. What the paper didn't do, and the reporter didn't do, should have picked up the phone and gave us a call. Remember, 55% of our village is the business park. As I said before, the biggest park in North America. There's not many trees in a business park, not an industrial park. They don't survive. They wouldn't make it with the things going on, the streets and all that. So if you took that out, that means our number wouldn't be 17%, probably closer to 40%, which put us one of the tops out there. But what they don't realize this, as we said before, Elk Grove's been named Tree City 39 straight years. We're a Tree City, USA. We also won the Arbor Day Foundation Growth Award for the amount of trees we had going on and growing Elk Grove. Won that for 7 straight years through 2021. The reason that's key is, remember, we lost a lot of trees to the emerald ash borer. We lost 5,000 trees. We were the only town that back in 2007, 5 years before our first tree replaced, 5 years before our first tree was placed, we started working with a tree farm way out west so that we didn't put little sticks in. We put in 3 and 4 inch trees, more mature trees. We started that 5 years before it was needed. We thought ahead. And that's why we got so many trees put in so fast. We put in over 500 trees every year to this day. Almost $250,000 a year goes into tree replacements here in Elk Grove. And so I'm not sure where they're getting the numbers from, but, you know, as was said by Mike Ditka one time, I don't know who they're crapping, but they're wrong on this one because we are a tree city. We're proud of it. And I wish the paper would do a little bit more homework before they wrote stories like that. So that's that. Hang on, I might be almost done there, Mr. Knickerbocker. Is that good?
It is for a lot of people in the audience.
Are you still awake?
What?
You're still awake, good. Okay, that completes all that. Now, what we're going to do tonight, for a lot of people here tonight, first off, we're going to do our swearing-ins. We got 4 police officers chose to work at here in Elk Grove, which we appreciate, and we got 2 promotion in the fire department. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda, or the pay the bills, consent agenda, go quick. Then we'll get to what a lot of people are here for, the pickleball court issue. That'll be coming up in just a few minutes. But we want to make sure we get the swearing in done first. They have families. And as they'll find out tonight, I always tell these officers when they get sworn in or they have their kids here that Dairy Queen's open. And make sure they go by with their kids by Dairy Queen when they leave because they've been very good tonight. Right, Mr. Knickerbocker?
Indeed.
You'll be taking me to Dairy Queen, won't you? Yeah, thank you. Okay, why don't we start off with the police officer? Chief Dorn, if you want to join us. And this is, I know we introduced you before, I think this is our first one. I'll do this again. This is our new police chief, David Dorn.
Microphone.
Again, introduce him one more time. This is a new police chief, David Dorn. He came from Barrington. Think about it. Came from Barrington to be in Elk Grove Village. Think about that. Think about that. Trust me, when I talked to Mayor Darch of Barrington, I pointed that out to her. And I've known Karen a long time, so that's no problem. So anyways, Chief's here to have his first new officers come in. And by the way, Chief, I have heard nothing but great things from many people on the job you're doing already and the work, your involvement, working the office, all that. Keep it up. Good job. Thank you. So it's all yours. Go ahead. Now see what I'm prepared when Chief Dorn comes. So
Thank you, everyone, and thank you first and foremost to all the our new officers' families for being here tonight. I have the privilege of introducing all our 4 officers that are currently in training. Do you want them to come up one by one?
One at a time, yeah.
Okay.
talk about each one.
Talk about all 4 and then.
No, just talk each.
Okay,
one at a
all right. So our first officer is Jessica Paqueri. Jessica is from Elgin, Illinois. She received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Exercise Science from Aurora University.
Hang on, our contest. Aurora University.
Spartans.
He's right.
Is it right?
Yep,
Holy,
I
how'd you
looked
get,
earlier.
how'd you pull that one? What?
I looked earlier.
You told them earlier?
No, I just looked it up, so
Oh.
I can tell you right away.
I'm impressed.
You gave me the book.
That's good. Go ahead now.
Give the book. Our second officer is Julia Peisker. Julie,
no.
oh,
One at-
sorry. All
I'll
right.
do her, swear her in,
Oh.
and then we go on the next one.
Move out of the way.
See, rookies, gotta show rookies what to do. Okay, officer, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Jessica Bakiri,
have been appointed to the position of
have been appointed to the position of
police officer
police officer
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the counties of Cook and DuPage.
in the counties of Cook and DuPage,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
as per the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I'll faithfully discharge
and I'll faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
police officer,
police officer.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
Come on up. Come on up. Do you have any family here?
I do, my parents.
Okay. Where's, raise your hands. Okay, who do you got out there? Your parents?
Yes, mom
Your
and dad.
Okay, should be very proud. Congratulations. So, is this your first police job?
It is, yes.
Okay, what made you pick, I mean, you're in Elgin, the odd towns in between. What made you pick Elk Grove?
Just all like it's a very diverse city. The department too. There's females, different races too. I like how diverse the department is.
Okay, now you're a rookie officer, so I'll give you a little tip. You're supposed to say, because of the mayor is why I chose Elk Grove. But that's okay, next, you're fine, you're fine. No, I'm just joking with you. Well, we're glad to have you here.
Thank
We wish
you.
you well. One thing we do in Elk Grove is, see our logo up there?
Yes.
We have chocolates with our logo on it. And
Oh.
it's dark chocolates, because I had a heart bypass, so my doctor lets me eat it. So share these with your mom and dad back there, and we welcome you to the police department.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our second officer is Julia Peisker, who's from Palatine, Illinois. She received a Bachelor of Arts degree in French and Criminal Justice from Western Michigan University.
Hang on.
Broncos.
Correct? You got it. Good job, Georgie. 2 for 2. We going to talk a little bit about that? Okay. Hi, congratulations. Thank you. Okay. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Julia Peisker,
Have been appointed to the position of
have been appointed the position of
police officer
police officer
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the counties of Cook and DuPage.
in the counties of Cook and DuPage.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
I support the Constitution of the United States,
I support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I'll faithfully discharge
and I'll faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
police officer.
police officer.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. So, you have anybody in the audience?
Yeah, my mom and my dad.
Raise your hands, mom, dad. Okay. So now, you're from Elk Grove.
No, I'm from Palatine.
Oh, Palatine, okay. Oh, wait, oh, that's the next one, my bad. I don't. Okay, we like Palatine too. It's one of our favorite suburbs, so we're good. So what made you, is this your first law enforcement job?
This is my first law enforcement
What made
job.
you pick to become a police officer?
I wanted to have the opportunity to be able to help people and to be able to save lives.
Okay, well, that's great, appreciate it. And see, I'm getting good, guys. I'm saying police officer, not policemen. You notice that? I'm learning. Even old dog learns new tricks. So, yeah, it took me a while, but I got it. Well, we thank you for coming to Elk Grove. We thank you for being part of it. We've got the best department out there. And as I said earlier, all the officers, the new officers, we back you 1,000% in this town. 1,000. We got you. So you do a great job, and we're behind you for it. So we appreciate it. So thank you very much. I got some candy for your parents and you too. So there you go. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my brother and my sister.
Our third officer is Keith Banaszak. He is from Elk Grove Village, and he is currently working towards a Bachelor of Arts degree in social work.
At what school?
That's what we're going to ask him right now.
Okay.
Masters. All right.
Master.
You got that information?
Where'd you go to college?
I've been to multiple schools. I'm on the 15-year plan.
Okay, but name off one.
I started at Oakton.
Oakton?
Owls.
Then when I was working, I was going online to Southern New Hampshire.
Southern
For law
New Hampshire.
enforcement.
That's a toughie.
And then
Wait. You know, Southern New Hampshire?
I'll guess like the Hilltoppers. I have no idea.
I don't play sports.
He doesn't either. Is it?
Okay, you're right.
And then I went for my master's at Liberty.
Liberty. That's a good, they're getting good in sports too. The football team's stepping up. What do you got?
I have no idea.
Liberty Bell? I don't know. What is it? Flame. Whoa. You should take your seat and you should.
You can't.
Okay. What? Okay. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Keith Banaszak,
Have been appointed the position of
have been appointed the position of
police officer
police officer
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the village of Elk Grove Village
and the counties of Cook and DuPage.
in the counties of Cook and
Do
DuPage.
solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
I support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I'll faithfully discharge
and I'll faithfully
the
discharge
duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
police officer.
police officer.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now you're from Elk Grove.
I am, sir.
Okay, you go to Elk Grove High School, or Conant.
I grew up in Niles.
Okay.
My wife and I bought a house in Elk Grove
Oh, so you just moved here.
about 7 years ago.
Okay, well, good for you. Congratulations.
East side.
We don't have the east side, west side in Elk Grove. We're one community, no matter where you are. I noticed that. I've heard that. So, first police job?
First job as a police officer, but I've worked in law enforcement before.
Where'd you work before? Just
Forest Park.
Okay. So, what made you pick Elk Grove?
Honestly, I had left the law enforcement field to work in social work, and I was on a crisis call with one of your officers, and I started talking to him, and he suggested I apply, and I applied, and here I am.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
So-
Make you feel good, doesn't it? That's good. Well, again, who do you have here tonight with you?
My wife, my daughter, my father-in-law.
Tom, move. Tom. Wait. Where are they? Oh, that's your baby? Oh, how old?
8 months.
Oh, my God, she's an angel. Oh, my God. Okay, well, we're going to give him plenty, especially with that baby there. Hang on. There you go.
Thank you,
Did I
sir.
help you on that?
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Way to go. Good job. Hang on. When I started, Chief, they used to be close to my age. Then they looked like my kids. Now they're looking like my grandkids up here. That's telling you something. But you notice, I still don't use any notes when I read it, do I?
See?
Chief told me when
Not
I
even an
s-
oath.
when Chief's joke when I swore in as to Chief, he goes, "You didn't have any paper," because every mayor you ever saw it swearing always had to read it. See, that's either I've been here too long, or I'm bored and I got nothing to do, so I memorize it. So, go ahead, last one.
All right, so our fourth and final officer is Peter Rolski. Peter from Schiller Park. He went to the University of Illinois. He has Bachelor of Science in Psychology. To close, come on up, Peter, but to close for all of our officers, they're currently in their 4th week of training. They completed 16 weeks of training at the Law Enforcement Academy, and so you're about a quarter of a way through the training. We look forward to all of you having a long career here in Elk Grove, and we're very happy to have you here. So, thank you.
I won't even ask you, University of Illinois, but I'm going to ask what junior high you went to, see if you got that. Okay. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Peter Rolski,
Have been appointed to the position of
have been appointed the position of
police officer
police officer
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the village of Elk Grove Village
and the counties of Cook and DuPage.
in the counties of Cook and DuPage.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
I support the Constitution of the United States,
I support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I'll faithfully discharge
and I'll faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
police officer.
police officer.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. sir.
Come on. So who do you have here tonight?
So I got a full house. I got
Good.
mom, I got
Raise
dad.
your hands. Mom, Dad,
I got mom, I got dad, I got stepmom, I got sister, and I got a brother.
way to go. Well, you should be very proud, very proud. So This your first police job?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what made you want to be a policeman? Not an Elko, but just be a policeman. What made you want to do that?
Something I wanted to do since I can remember, and for whatever reason, it got away from me. And somewhere along the way, this was my chance to do it. I have a history of being in Elk Grove and working with Elk Grove community because I was an assistant store director over at the Jewel right across the street for
really?
about 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So I worked with the community. I dealt with the community, and this was the right place and the right fit. So why not pursue the dream in a place that I could call home?
So despite people like me yelling about the milk being warm or something like that, you still want to stay in Elk Grove? Or you're a Jewel manager?
I wouldn't complain. I'd smile and say, I'll figure it out.
Well, we welcome you. We got some stuff for you, too. We thank you for picking Elk Grove, and appreciate it. And
Thank
wish
you.
you nothing but the best.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy. Okay, now, Fire Chief, we got 2 promotions.
Yes, sir.
Very good, too. By the way, you folks that are coming up, if you want to see, we are recorded live. If you see the cameras up there, Nielsen came out with the latest ratings. They call the spring ratings. We went down a little bit. Our shows, our board meetings are only viewed now by 3.4 billion, down from 3.6 billion people. So it's down a little bit, but with all these good, nice firemen, policemen, hopefully we get the ratings back up.
I hope so.
Okay,
Thank you,
good.
Mayor.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you. And Mayor, thank you and the board for the support as we move forward with these promotions. We're very pleased to be basically reorganizing the structure of the fire department. We'll be promoting 2 deputy chiefs this evening who, in their capacity, will serve as basically in second in command of the fire department. Because they're both of equal rank and coming from equal rank, I'm going to introduce them in alphabetical order. So if I could please have Clint Coons come up first. Our Deputy Chief Clint Coons has been a member of the Elk Grove Village Fire Department since 1998. He served as a firefighter paramedic, a lieutenant, and a battalion chief. Clint has a master's degree in organizational leadership with an emphasis on emergency management leadership from Waldorf University.
Hang on.
The historians?
What?
Warriors.
Warriors.
Warriors. Yeah. It's close. Close, yeah. The Deputy Chief Coons.
By the way, excuse me, do we have any attorneys looking for a job in the audience by chance? I'm just checking, George. Okay, go ahead.
He's been the recipient of many awards and has earned numerous professional certifications, including being certified as a Chief Fire Officer through the Office of the Illinois State Fire Marshal, which is the highest certification available through the state of Illinois for the fire service. In addition to that, he's also designated, he's a professional designation as a Chief Fire Officer for the Center for Professional Safety Excellence. He's a licensed paramedic. He served as a paramedic preceptor, who is a paramedic who teaches new paramedics who are coming on. He worked on the water rescue team, the hazardous materials team, as an instructor in our pub ed group for both CPR and fire safety lessons for the community. He has extensive experience in emergency management. He serves as the Elk Grove Village liaison to the Joint Emergency Management System, which is the emergency management system that covers 12 communities in this area. He does extensive work on our emergency operations plan, our continuity of operations plan, and the recovery plan for the village, as well as working with a crew of other people to maintain the readiness for our emergency operations center. He served on the MABUS Standard Operation Guidelines Committee, where they develop standardized practices for regional fire operations. And he does volunteer work for the DuPage County Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency, and has been involved in leadership positions for youth hockey, softball, and baseball organizations, and was introduced to his position as deputy chief by trial by fire, if you will, no offense, but spent the night in Mount Prospect last night, where he was there for over 8 hours at the massive fire they had in Mount Prospect, representing Elk Grove Village and helping to coordinate the operations at that incident. So he spent his first night at a major fire there last night, representing and working there. So Deputy Chief Clint Coons.
I state your name.
I, Clint Coons,
Have been appointed to the position of
been appointed to the position of
Deputy Fire Chief
Deputy Fire Chief
in the Village of Elk Grove Village
in the village of Elk Grove Village
in the counties of Cook and
in
DuPage.
the counties of Cook and DuPage.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
I support the Constitution of the United States,
I'll support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I'll faithfully discharge
and I'll faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Deputy Fire Chief.
Deputy Fire Chief.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Come on up, come on up. So first off, who you got here tonight?
So I got my family. I got my wife, Julie, my daughter, Cameron, my son, Carter, his girlfriend, Vicky, my dad, Ron Kuntz, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law, Diana and Fred.
Well, we're glad you're here tonight. He's done a great job. Guy's been, almost,
It's 26 years
I was
now.
going to say. God.
Yeah.
So, okay, 26 years, you've worked with a lot of different people, all this. What area of the fire department do you enjoy the most?
The people I work with in the community, the people I work with at the fire department, and everyone here. It's unbelievable. The people you meet, the people you help, and the people you get to know. So it's that's what I enjoy the most.
Now, did you always want to be a fireman growing up?
No, this is my second career. I got a degree in science. I was in an environmental lab. Didn't like it. Talking to a friend, he was the former chief of Arlington Heights back in the day. He told me, you should become a fireman. So I started testing, and this is where I landed. And best job, best career, best choice I've ever made.
Well, one thing I tell the firemen all the time, my brother was a fireman in Hoffman Estates. I said, fireman's job is the best. You know why? Every day you work is Friday. Because they work one day, they're off two. So you work Friday, you get Saturday, Sunday off. So that's, my brother always said, it's the best job work. Who doesn't mind working Fridays? Because, you got the weekend coming up. So it works good. So he always used to say that. The bad thing he always said was a lot of nights
Yep.
and a lot of worries and concerns. So good and bad. But we've got the best, and here's another one of the examples of the best we have. So I want to thank you. The accreditation we got with the fire department recently and all that, wouldn't happen without veterans like you to help with the younger guys there on the department and also the veterans there working together. So I thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations. Hang on. No offense, rookie policeman, but he's a veteran. They take your hat off.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. They get extra. Good
Thanks
job.
again. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again.
All right, next I'd like to introduce Deputy Chief Todd Rishling, who also has been a member of the fire department since 1998 and has served as a firefighter, paramedic, lieutenant, and battalion chief prior to this evening. Todd has a master's degree in organizational leadership with an emphasis on executive fire leadership from Waldorf University. They're still the Warriors. He also has a bachelor's degree in fire administration from Columbia Southern University.
Hang on. Columbia Southern University. You get this right, you get a chocolate. It's
No,
easy.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to,
It's easy. What's the opposite of day?
that would be the Knights?
There you go, very good. Well done,
Good
sir.
job, George.
Well done. Todd has been the recipient of many awards and has earned numerous professional certifications, also as being certified as a chief fire officer through the state of Illinois. Todd's nationally registered as a paramedic and has extensive experience as a flight medic, where for decades he has handled the most critically ill patients in medical helicopter transports. He serves as an emergency medical services educator in the Northwestern Memorial Hospital System in Lake County. He has extensive experience in water rescue, where he's served as the co-chair of the statewide MABUS Water Rescue Committee, the Cook County Swift Water Flood Response Team, and the Elk Grove Village and MABUS Division I Water Rescue Team leader. He now serves as a chief liaison to the water rescue team in this region. Todd travels the United States and Canada as a lecturer and a consultant in both emergency medical service topics and specialized rescue operations. When he is home, he serves as a president on the Board of Trustees for the Wonder Lake Fire Protection District and was a contributing editor to the Jones and Bartlett book, Water Rescue Principles and Practices. I think both Todd and Clint are outstanding examples of what we try to build in our fire officers here, where they build on their formal education, develop their professional training and experiences, have extensive involvement in professional associations and organizations, and participate in community activities. And it's just what we're looking for. Very proud of them. Congratulate both of you.
I state your name.
I, Todd Rishling,
Have been appointed to the position of
have been appointed to the position of
Deputy Fire Chief
Deputy Fire Chief
in the Village of Elk Grove Village
in the Village of Elk Grove Village
and the counties of Cook and DuPage.
and the counties of Cook and
Do
DuPage.
solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
I support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I'll faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Deputy Fire Chief.
Deputy Fire Chief.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Who do you have here tonight?
I have my wife Kendra, my son Alexander, my other son Chase, my daughter Addison, And one of my dear friends, Aaron, who flew up this morning from Florida,
And he brought the weather with him.
and he brought the weather. And all of our people from the fire department, police department, and DC Markowski, you back there? Hi, Joe. Thank you. DC Markowski from Streamwood came in.
Oh, my gosh.
My partner in crime with the dive team stuff.
Mayor Billy Roth, the only mayor that's serving longer than I have in this whole region. So, yeah, Billy's, I think, 4 or 5 more years than I am. So tell her I said hi when you see her.
And contributing to our, 3.8 billion
Right.
viewers. I got a whole bunch of people watching on Channel 6, including my parents, my brother, family, everybody else.
We made top 4 billion first time ever.
4 billion.
Way to go.
Fireworks are going to be epic this year, aren't they?
Oh, we're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Thank you, remind me. Again, like I asked Clint, what do you enjoy? I mean, you've been here your whole career in Elk Grove. That's not usual today. A lot of people move around and stuff like that. What made you with Elk Grove?
So the diversity of this community and the support of this board and yourself is second to none. This organization is epic. I travel all over and see, and this organization is truly epic.
Here's the sad part. I swore him in when he was first fireman back in '98. He hasn't aged a bit. And look at me. So,
I got no hair, buddy.
okay. Here you go. Good job. Congratulations. Get your head off. Here, here.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone's got that many billions of people. Hang on. A couple more. There
Load
you
it
go.
up.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Before we have the officers and all that moving on, Todd made me think of something. I forgot to bring some up. Remember, this is our last meeting before the 4th of July that's coming up this year. On Thursday, July 4th, it's a special day here in Elk Grove. We talk about community and all country and all that. We're calling it Celebrate America's Day in America's Village, Elk Grove Village. It's going to be spectacular. Brad Kozlowski, the driver of the Makers Wanted car that's going to be in a race on that Sunday the 7th in Chicago, he's going to be here in Elk Grove. He's going to drive the car to the concert location. So he's going to drive there. He's going to park the car, got a chance to meet Brad, see the car in front of the biggest American flag you've ever seen in Elk Grove Village. That'll be there that day. Then we got the All-American Band, the Beach Boys after that. Then we have a fireworks display. As I said before, Marion Itasca's crying when he hears about it. We're going to have that afterwards. But truly, we're going to bring the community together. We're going to sell hot dogs, hamburgers, apple pies for sale, beer for the first time. Come by and truly make an America's Day here in Elk Grove Village. We're looking forward to a great holiday. And let's get back to the way America was, should be, and will be in the future. So keep that in mind. So with that said, officers, firemen, policemen, families of sworn in, if you want to go now, you're more than welcome to go. Remember, kids, they're supposed to take you to Dairy Queen when you leave. That's a mayoral edict. Thanks again for being here. Thank you. No.
So we're gonna go through the.
God bless it.
Okay, with that said, we'll do trustees' report.
Say Chris first.
Trustee Bush.
No report.
It's not gonna make Trustee Prochnow happy. We gotta
Let's do it quick.
Trustee Miller.
So I think we forgot to say congratulations to Elk Grove TV for an Excellence Award in the Public Service Announcement category for the Pace Ride ID PSA produced by Scott Mayernick. So I just wanted to say congratulations to Elk Grove TV. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Trustee Frankie.
Are we stalling? Is that what this is? No report.
Officer, if you want to let the folks know that might be waiting to come in, yeah, we got seats available. Oh, okay. We'll give them a second. Thank you, Trustee Frankie.
Wow, there's a lot of people out there.
They're mad because they want to hear Trustee Frankie's report.
Oh, well then maybe I'll start one. Oh, I can go back. Okay, no report
We stretched
again.
just long enough. Okay, we'll move on to, we'll work last. Trustee Jerish.
I just wanted to make an announcement. All of you, there's an opportunity to volunteer in our community. PADS, our PAD site, which started up again last year, will be again opening in October through April at Christus Victor. And so now's the time to think about volunteering and signing up. If you are interested in this month's newsletter, it'll come out. You can also email Ann DiBartolo at ChristusVictorLutheranChurch.org. Concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Schmidt.
Yes, you covered most of the stuff that I was involved in. We went to the prime data topping off with you, the DARE graduation, the Muggs ribbon cutting, the Rademacher ribbon cutting, and I also attended the Deputy Chief, Police Chief, Deputy Chief Chris Torres' retirement coffee on Friday morning. I wish him the best of luck in his retirement. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Proctor.
Well, thank you. I just want to remind everybody that the Farmers Market has started, our summer market. It's every Saturday in the Village Square parking lot from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's always entertainment. There's fresh produce, fresh baked goods, a variety of things that you can spend your money on, crafts, arts, and just come by and in general have a great time. So every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Village Square parking lot. Don't forget. And I'd also like to announce that on Saturday, June 1st, Nick Nicola and the Salt Creek Watershed Network had their annual creek cleanup. I did reach out to Nick and ask him for a report on how that turned out this year, and I'd like to read the email that he sent me back. There were about 24 volunteers that came out on a sketchy, rainy day. They braved the rainy weather and collected over a dozen bags of trash and other items. The main group in the water were scouts from Troop 95. Others walked along the creek cleaning up. This was the 30th year of my organizing the EGV Salt Creek cleanup. The smaller haul of trash is the direct result of continuous cleanups. In the beginning years, we collected dump trucks full of trash. The creek is much healthier and cleaner than 30 years ago. I pray that when I cannot do this anymore, someone will help continue to keep the creek clean. Sincerely, Nick Nicola, President of the Salt Creek Watershed Network. And if you'll remember, Mayor, we talked about this when we first started out, the things that we pulled out of that creek 30 years ago. Toilets. Who throws a toilet in the creek? I mean, it was all kinds of strange things, but it's what did you say? It's just good to know that they're taking care of this, and 30 years later, we have a cleaner and safer creek. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We move on to accounts payable one. We have three different ones, so we'll go in order. First, account payable for May 31st, 2024.
I move that we approve the accounts payable warrant for May 31st, 2024 in the amount of $4,516,989.64.
Second.
Ooh, there's gonna be a wrestle-off
Pretty
for this
good,
one.
wasn't it?
We're gonna see a wrestle-off. She got it, okay. Oh, he
That
don't
was
wanna-
nice.
He don't wanna wrestle, Jeff. He don't wanna- She win, she win. Okay, we have a motion by trustee Prochnow, second by trustee Miller. Jen, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Frankie?
Aye.
Trustee Jerish?
Aye.
Trustee Miller?
Aye.
Trustee Prochnow?
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt?
Aye.
Trustee Bush?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. We have now accounts payable warrant for June 6th, 2024.
I move we approve the accounts payable warrant for June 6, 2024 in the amount of $183,499.98.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by trustee Prochnow, second by trustee Bush. Without objection, recorded votes please demonstrate 6-0. June 18th, 2024.
I move we approve the accounts payable warrant for June 18th, 2024 in the amount of $569,772.91.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Prochnow, second by trustee Jerish. And without objection, recorded votes please demonstrate 6-0. Next, we have consent agenda items. A as in Albuquerque through V as in Venetian? Okay.
View.
What, you go to Vegas lately?
The view.
Okay. Pardon?
The view.
The view, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have can I have a motion?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
A motion by trustee Frankie, second by trustee Miller. Any discussion, corrections from staff or board members? On the consent agenda, anybody here for those items tonight? don't think so. None? Okay, seeing none, hearing none, without objection, record the vote as previously demonstrated, 6-0. No items on regular agenda, I believe tonight, Maggie, we just have one item, Plan Commission? Yes. Okay, pickleball, Adam. Okay, this is the part we're gonna talk about, the pickleball. I know we've got a number of people that requested to speak, which we'll get to in just a second. A couple of items to go through as we start off on this tonight. A couple of things, remember, we looked at this issue, and again, I appreciate people being involved, getting their voices heard, and all that. Understand a couple of things here. One, I live about a block from that park. Trustee Frankie lives about 2 blocks from that park. I don't think Park Commissioner Walls is here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's John. John actually backs up to that park. So we see that park. We live that park all the time. I've got grandkids that go to the park. When my kids were little, they went to that area. Now, back then, it was a school park or a daycare or a township park, but they used it. So we're well aware of everything going on in that area also. I think between as a kid in college, my first home over there, and now my second home, I've got 21 years living in that area. So we're well aware of everything that's going on that. Secondly, the place has been open now, I think, for about a week and a half. Understand this, when this all started, this is a park project. I'll say it again, it's a park project. Now, I took a lot of kudos from people when I've been over there for the past week and a half, because at first, when people come and say, hey, Mayor, thanks for that, I'd say, folks, don't thank me, thank the park district, they did a great job, they should be thanked. After about 20 people saying that, I said, you're welcome, no problem, glad I could help that. But this is truly a park district project. It's a project that the park district put together, the board members voted on, and adopted. They are a duly elected board. Our job is very limited as a village board. We have very limited scope of what we can and cannot do legally here. This was zoned not for a park, but originally a school, and then I guess the township treated it like a school because they had the daycare, and still is the same kind of school.
Planned unit development.
Planned unit development, still considered a school. So our job as a board is to adopt it into a park facility to fall within that planned unit development. That's our job. With that, we have some limitations. It's got to be obviously recreational. Now, someone could say, well, shooting's recreational. Obviously, if the park district came to us, wanted to put in a shooting range there with AK-47s, we might have a little angst about something like that. But for the park district to bring to us a development that includes recreational activities, we're kind of tied with our hands on that. We have some latitude when you look at what potential impacts may come on the community with the development, correct?
In some respects, yes.
So that's where we come into play. So with that said, that would come in and play, what are they putting in there is a recreation. Obviously a water park, fountains, parks, we've got them in the village. We got one here, we put in the village hall. We put one in. Playground equipment, soccer fields, trails, all that. And even pickleball is recreation. You know, years ago it was tennis was so popular. Things change, evolve, and all that. So we have to look at the scope of what they're looking to do there when we make our decision there. Now, as we promised everyone that lives in the area, we would get notice out to you in advance, so you had a chance to review it and come and make your voices heard today, which we're going to give each and every one of you an opportunity, if you want to talk to us. That's your right, and we think you should get that right. That's why we did it. No one's trying to hide anything. No one's trying to slide anything under the carpet. It's all out in the open and available. Now, by the same token, I want to say, as someone that was born on February 9th, 1960 here in Elk Grove, and still lives here in Elk Grove to this day, who's raising his grandchildren after his children grew up here by that area, I want to commend the Park District. I've seen a lot of developments come to this village, whether it's a skateboard park, Fountain Square Park on the west side, New Rainbow Falls from the old Lions Park pool, all that. I want to say I have never seen a project that's been so well received by so many people than this development they did. I give the park commissioners, I grew up with Bill O'Malley. Heck, I set him on fire in 7th grade science class. So, I mean, we know. I give them a lot of grief sometimes on things they do. They give me grief on things we do. That's how we are. But this is one time I've got no grief. I have been out to that park. I kept track 23 times since they've opened. 23 times, including went there, pulling the parking lot twice today. Because I want to see what was happening. I want to see what's going on. I want to see how things are taken care of. And I tell you, I was very happy. One, like I say, 21 years I've lived in that area. We never had a park before. We had a modified schoolyard park for all those years. We finally got a park in our neighborhood. I'm very happy and grateful. I'm also grateful and happy that they spent millions to give us a phenomenal park in our neighborhood. The playground equipment, the splash pad, all of that. Second to none. It's first class. My daughter, who we don't talk to anymore because she moved to Elmhurst, all the other kids stay in Elk Grove, they're smart. Michelle's out of my will now, but she came over with her children on Saturday. We went to the park, splash park and all that. She said in Elmhurst, for their splash pads, you have to pay to use it. You have to pay to use it. She said they put flyers out this weekend saying, Father's Day weekend, parents free, come enjoy. Not here in Elk Grove. Our splash pad, you don't pay for it. Rainbow or Fountain Square Park on the west side, you don't pay for it. It's free. That's phenomenal for this community. And that's why I went out there to see what's going on, what's happening. It's gone very well. Is it perfect? Nothing's perfect at first. You learn, you modify, you adjust, you adapt. And they're already doing stuff like that. Let's be honest. We've got to put the no parking signs in front of the park. All of our parks have no parking signs for safety reasons. A child was killed years ago. That's why we have them around all the parks. Came to two cars, got killed. We forgot. Our guys fixed it quickly, right, Colby? Went out, put up temporary. I was there when they put up the temporary signs. And we got going. So you learn, you modify. But I tell you, I think that thing is run very smoothly, very nicely. I know people talk about parking. Except for the first couple days, there's basically been almost no cars parked in the street. And the only place they do park is on Chelmsford. And they park on the side by the Cosman Lake. And actually, there's no homes right there. It's open field to Cosman Lake. But even that, I've seen very little. They've been parking in the parking lot. Every time I've gone by since probably last Wednesday, there's open spots in the parking lot. And I go at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I go at 6 o'clock at night. I go in the morning on the way to work out, on the way back. I mean, all different hours. It works out fine. So they've done a phenomenal job. Understand this, and I know some of this because I worked 4 years in high school and college for the Park District. I cut the grass at every park in this village. Every park. I drove the Big Jake and I cut it. So I know them all. Understand this. All parks, most parks, there might be a couple, most parks are situated just like this park. There's homes all the way around it. I know people say, oh no, this is the only park in the village. They don't know what they're talking about. Osborne Park, I grew up on Briarwood Lane, the first park, the first section of the village. It's surrounded all by homes. You got Woodcrest, Wildwood, and Briarwood. All homes. Most parks in Elk Grove are surrounded by homes. Heffron Park, you got homes on Crest, Verde, and then what's the street cut into the back?
Verde and Crest, because
Yeah, and then the ones back up. Lilac. All homes. Appleseed Park. All homes. Most of them that way. Fairchild, except for one corner you got Claremont School, all homes. That's what parks are. They're usually in neighborhoods where people live. They don't put them in the industrial park. They put them in neighborhoods. So this park, go by Udall Park. A lot of multifamily by Udall Park, surrounded by homes. Probably more multifamily than over there. So it's all surrounded by homes. That's where the design. They're meant to be by homes. And I know people talked about pickleball. Well, it's close to homes, all this. Put them on tennis courts. Well, go by the tennis courts at Osborne and all the other parks. They're within 10, 15 feet of people's backyard. 10 to 15 feet of people's backyards. I know, because I used to cut around them. I've seen them. Not everyone, but a lot of them. So, again, we look at that as a board, all the board members, most of these board members, we grew up in Elk Grove. So we all know the park areas and all that. So we did that. The only thing I got a little disillusioned in was, unfortunately, people send out a lot of misinformation when they do things. And they don't sign it, which is fine. They send it from Friends of Marshall Park, which is fine. They say stuff like here, Queen of the Rosary put up a gate to keep the pickleball players from parking in the parking lot. Nothing could be further from the truth. Those gates were put up because there's a conflict with the Park District's pool and parking in QR's parking lot. Long before pickleball was ever there, those gates were up. So it was not response to pickleball. I don't think Father Dan cares less about pickleball. He's worried about the parking situation with the diocese and that, and we're hopeful that works out. We're trying to work with the Park District to find a resolution to that. So, but again, people put out information that aren't fully embracing the truth. There are serious traffic issues in our neighborhood. I live in that neighborhood. I've not seen any serious traffic issues. The police do patrol my area quite a bit. That's issues that I'm not going to go in with me and my safety and stuff like that, but they've not seen any issues with serious traffic problems in our area. I drive Chelmsford 3-4 times every day. I drive down Wellington. I drive all the time. There's been no serious traffic issues in our area. We'd be well aware of it, and I'd be well aware from the police. Densely populated, all of our parks are densely populated because they got residents living all around there. That's what they do. No other park has residents on all four sides. Folks, I just went through it. So I understand you may not like it, you may not want it by you. I respect that. But don't make up misinformation to people. Tell them the truth. You know, I give more credit if someone comes and say, hey, Craig, I just don't want pickleball by my house. I don't want it there. I'd respect that opinion. I may not agree, but I respect you being honest. To sit there and say, oh my God, the traffic's coming, all that. You gotta remember, this park's very fortunate. This park's one of the very few in the entire village that has a parking lot attached to it. Go by Osborne Park, I talked about earlier, on baseball games. My grandkids now playing there. Those cars up and down Woodcrest, up and down Briarwood, on Wildwood, and going down to Woodcrest. Every night, every weekend. They're there all the time. And that's what unfortunate is. And people call me and every trustee up here, oh, Craig, don't let them park in front of my house. Don't let them park in front of my house. I tell people, there's benefits by living by a park. There's detriments by living by a park. The benefits, you got nice open space. Probably for 6-7 months a year, no one's even out there. It's wintertime and stuff. But during the warm season, yeah, people are going to park in front of your house. It's not a private park. It's a public park. It happens. I lived on the corner of Cosman and Northampton. I had a detached garage going on to Cosman. The Forest River path started right outside my garage, my driveway. I had people park in my driveway over the years when I lived there to use the woods. I was an elected official. I could call the police, had it towed in a second. I never once called. When they come back, I'd be cutting the grass, something like that. I'd go and say, hey, folks, this is my private driveway. Most of the time, they were, I could see the sticker. A lot of times, Chicago people, other people, and they said, oh, I understand. Just so you know, you come again, just park on the street right here. They parked in front of on the side of my house all the time. That's what you get living by facilities like that. It's not your private park. It's not a private woods. It's public use. They all should enjoy it. Again, when you bought there, you should know you've got. Now, whether you say, well, there was a school before. Well, actually, a school is kind of, you got 300-400 kids, teachers, all that going every day on the playground right by it. That's probably worse than what you got now. But again, it's open space. But this is nice because this place actually has parking lot. Parks like 60, 70 cars. It's great. They're not parking in front of your house. I've been watching. I'm going down Shelley, checking Hastings, checking Wellington. I've been looking. If they didn't have a parking lot, they would be by your house. And that's the way most parks are in Elk Grove. So it makes a lot of sense of what the Park District did. I give them credit for thinking this through. I give them credit that they made the pickleball courts 200 feet away from the nearest house. 200 feet. Most of those other tennis courts are 10 to 15 feet from backyards. This is 200 feet. And they're putting up soundproofing. Now, the one thing we're going to require is on the soundproofing, we're going to ask them to start off by putting them at the two ends of the pickleball courts. The ones that face toward the homes on Shelley and the ones facing the quads. The other sides face toward Cosman Lake and face toward Boardwalk, which is hundreds of feet away. We're going to start off that way. Why? Part of the reason we want police to have visibility. When they're driving down Chelmsford, they can see through it. Now, they couldn't see behind the school that was made before, and it's still safe, but we got an opportunity to maybe make it a little safer. We're going to try it. If it becomes a problem, we can always add that later. But we're going to require them to do that, and we're going to make sure they put enough landscaping to shield the 10-foot high, not the 20-foot high that some people write about fencing around. It's 10-foot high. We're going to put up some arborvitaes and stuff to kind of shield the black look of the soundproofing fence. But again, that's going. I give the Parks District credit. They thought ahead in doing something like that. They didn't put it on top of people's homes. They put a distance. The other thing that people talked about was the fact that, you know, the lights are going to be in there. Now remember, lights, we already did with the soccer. We'll probably do the same thing with pickleball. We'll make a decision tonight of making them go off at 9 p.m., just like the soccer go off. Now remember, people will be playing pickleball most in the summer. Right now it's 8:20. If we open that door, it's as light as could be out there. So most time those lights can be on, it's going to be summertime. They won't even have any effect till 9 o'clock. They may not be on. Wintertime, where they would have effect from 4:30 till whatever, you'd see it. No one's playing pickleball in December, January, February. And I know people say, hey, Mayor, the pickleball, they're going to make it part of the parking lot. Us whiteheads, I'm a whitehead. I never played pickleball, but if I did, we're not going to play pickleball at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 97 degrees with 97% humidity. We're going to play in the morning before the water park's open, or we're going to play in the evening when it cools off some. That way the parking's naturally just spread out. It happened just naturally by the events. So, again, we think they thought a lot of this stuff through, and I give them credit for all that. So, understand, a park is going to be used. And the last thing, second last thing I say is, I, again, respect people that don't want to buy them. But when people tell me, Mayor, put the pickleball court over there, put the pickleball court over that park, put the pickleball court at that park, you know what they're telling me? They don't mind pickleball. They just don't want it in their own private backyard, their own park. Well, we can't govern that way. As one of the park commissioners said, we represent 32,000 people. He's exactly right. You got to do what's best for the whole community. You rule by the majority, you protect the interests of the minority. They protect the interests of the minority by putting up soundproofing, by moving the court far away from the homes. But the majority want it. And that's my last thing before we have the board talk, or let you folks talk. Someone today, and I thank him in a way, put up a poll. Actually, I think it was put up yesterday. I think Richard Nelson put an informal poll on those Facebook things. Again, I'm not part of that. I thank our police and others that give me copies to look at that stuff. And I thought it was great, because it was truly an informal poll. And said, do you want pickleball at this park or do you not? The last number I think they got to was like 61 to 10 wanted it. What was that, 6-to-1 ratio? Then they took it off. I think they realized, uh-oh, the votes aren't going the way we wanted it to go. Well, I thought that was great, because I always say in government, the silent majority is the ones that truly have the impact when decisions are made. We want to hear from everyone. But, you know, you hear from a few and they think the whole world thinks that way. I think Mr. Olson, who I know is not a fan of the pickleball, but I do thank him for what he did. It kind of gave all this board one last feeling of where the village stands on this issue. And we appreciate it. Again, before now I go to the people asking to speak, understand this. America's founded in a great way. Majority rules, and you protect the interests of the minority. So, You saw the voting done on Mr. Nelson's site. Others people have talked. Understand that. But we also have been careful, and the purchaser, I should say us, the parts have been careful to protect the interests of the minority, the ones that live by there and all that, with the spacing, with the soundproofing. I give them kudos for that. They did a good job with that. They were thinking for that. So with that said, I've got a whole list. If you don't want to speak after you gave us your thing, you don't have to. If you want to speak, this is your opportunity. I'll go through it. I want to ask for someone to understand, there's a gentleman that needs assistance. I'm going to let that gentleman go first. Caroline's got it. Mr. Alan David wishes to speak. Alan, are you here? Yeah. You want to still speak? Yeah. Okay, you're fine. Caroline's going to bring a microphone for you, sir.
Doesn't have to get up.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak and for the meeting. And I'm not against people having fun. Pickleball sounds good. I probably won't play. I can't move that fast. But I like it. The only concern I had was that it doesn't go on too late. 9 o'clock, it's a good time. I saw it on the sheet. It sounds like they may stop it at 9, because people want to sleep, and get up early, go to work and all that. But I think it's a good idea. I live close to pickleball, but I don't just look at myself as the most important person. I want people to have what they want to have, So with that, I would agree with what you said, Mayor, and with the idea of the pickleball. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, 9 o'clock will be what the village will recommend on that. Now, it looks like we may have close friends here. We have a Tom and Laura Buchler. Are they still here? Did you still want to speak? Sure. Come on down. Come on down. Yeah, that gentleman has a hard time walking. That's why we brought the microphone to him. So we have a microphone down here. Tom, can you check to make sure it's set for him? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. See, a member of the press helping us out. Isn't that great? Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, wait till everybody writes.
I just want to say that the Park District did a fabulous job with that park. It's amazing. My grandkids love it, and I am absolutely in for the pickleball. Adults need exercise too, and it's a community park, and I think adults should be able to participate in the park as well. So kudos to everyone that's involved with this park. It's fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to add that I think we're the Marshall Park Friends also, except we didn't know anything about the letter till it came out. And I'm a tennis player, so I'm not big on pickleball, but I am all for it because I think it's going to be great for the community. We live close by. We can already hear the kids screaming and laughing in the park, which we never heard before. And it's nice to hear kids doing something outside instead of on their iPads in the house, which a lot of them do. So I'm 100% for it, and we live by the park, and it's okay with us.
Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing, Tom, how you can hear it in your backyard, the sound of the kids out there now. You didn't hear that before. Victor Anderson. Mr. Anderson?
Good evening. How you doing, Mayor? The rest of the board. I won't lie, Mayor. I kind of feel like you hacked my phone. I kind of feel like an idiot coming up here and talking, and you hit a lot of my talking points. But I took the time to write down some notes, so I'm gonna talk anyways.
By all means.
So I live right on the corner of Wellington and Chelmsford, right by those townhomes. First want to thank you for everything you've done. I've lived in Elk Grove for like 5 years. I absolutely love it. I think you guys have done a great job with everything. So, I did want to say that. And unlike you, Mayor, I do need my notes. I will need some stuff in front of me here. So my parking lot or my patio is less than 20 feet from the corner of the parking lot. So this has definitely affected me a lot. I personally am here to talk against pickleball. Sorry, sounds like I am in the minority tonight. But I frankly hate that I'm here. I don't like complaining. I've never complained once since living here. But I wanted to make sure that my voice was heard, that I'm not exactly happy with everything that's being added to it. I do want to say, I'm not against the park itself. I'm not against pickleball in particular. It's more of everything that's there already. I kind of feel like adding pickleball is just maybe a little bit too much. Just based off of what I've seen in the parking situation. I know Mayor Johnson, you talked about the parking. I saw I watched the prior meeting on YouTube, and I saw Mr. Tim Cook say that you guys have driven past it quite a few times and you have not noticed it be that big of a deal. I would disagree with that. I've seen, out of I think 11 days that it's been open, I've seen cars parked on the street 7 out of those 11 days. Now, it's not the entire day, I know that, but it has been enough to affect the comfort level of being up there or living right there, the comfort level of walking around. We've had multiple occasions where cars are parked on both sides, and it does affect us a lot too, because where we live in the townhome, we have a 1-car garage and a 1-car driveway. So if I want access to the garage, I need to move my car into the street. And before, we only had 3 or 4 of us do that, so it wasn't an issue. But now we got people that are taking our spots, and I know it's not our spots, it's public. I'm well aware of that. It's just been an inconvenience for us, and then with our cars that are parked there, along with everyone else that's coming to the park, it has affected that as well. So I do appreciate that you guys put the no parking signs in front of the park. I would request maybe something a little bit more further down Chelmsford to prevent that area from getting a little bit more congested. And I would like to request that it would be resident parking only, not no parking anytime, so that a few of us who do need access to our garage has somewhere to put our cars. In regards to the parking situation, I've taken the liberty of taking pictures, so that way it doesn't sound like I'm talking out of my emotions or my feelings. I've emailed the village board some of those pictures. I've taken more, either me being out there or accessing my Ring camera, just to take screenshots, just to show and just to have some evidence that that it is an issue. In regards to the Facebook poll, I don't really believe in that's an accurate depiction of everybody, because I saw it. Frankly, I hate social media, and I didn't even post it. My feelings of a no, I don't like my name out there. So just kind of something to think about is in regards to the posts. And I think another issue why this is an issue for the traffic and the parking is we have a lot of people that are coming in from out of towns. I have a couple clients who noticed that they've posted on their Facebook groups, so that's like the Moms of Palatine or any type of community groups. People have been posting the Marshall Park because you guys did do a really good job with that. And so we got a lot of people coming from out of town. I know Mr. O'Malley had talked to people, and people were coming out of town to come and check the park out. Now, I'm well aware that the splash pad is seasonal. I'm well aware that soccer is only going to be in the fall, in the spring. Not everything's going to go on at once. But I've been watching it very closely, and I don't feel like a lot of people are just using the splash pad. Most of the people are on that obstacle course, because you guys created a pretty epic obstacle course. I've heard that argument of, the splash pad is not going to be open at the same time as soccer. I don't really think that matters too much, because the obstacle course is being used a lot. And that area is already higher traffic than it should be. I know a lot of people will cut through from Biesterfield or Arlington Heights Road to come around to try and mitigate stopping at some of those stoplights. We've been affected personally by that. My wife had her car parked out on the street a couple years ago. Some car whipped around the corner, because that intersection is notorious for people not stopping at stop signs. I yell at people all the time for that. And someone whipped around the corner and totaled my wife's car. So we've been personally affected by there. I know you've mentioned that you don't feel like it's too big of an issue, but I sit on my patio all the time, and I do see that. more so, again, like I'm not 100% against pickleball. I would just kind of at least, it kind of sounds like I'm fighting a losing battle here based off of what I've heard. Sounds like it's kind of already approved. But at least table it for a little while longer. Let's just make sure that, the traffic and the parking issue is not as bad as I think it's going to be. Allow some time for you guys to prove me wrong, because it's really kind of affected our area. We really enjoyed the quiet neighborhood. That was what attracted us to that area. And now, like, we feel like our privacy and just that quietness has really been invaded. I know we're next to a public park, so I know that comes with the territory. It's just went from 0 to 100 very quickly. Just a couple other little small requests. Because of that issue, the Boardwalk Apartments, they don't have access to the park directly. I know that you guys tried to put a gate in, and that particular apartment complex said no. So more so, we've had a lot of foot traffic that are cutting down that sidewalk right next to those bushes, and they've been walking literally right next to our patio, which I know a couple of my neighbors, they'll sit out there on Zoom calls for work. My one neighbor was complaining about his Ring doorbell going nuts and his dog going nuts. And so we just have people that are walking directly next to our patio and walking through our parking lot. So if maybe we could think about a way to mitigate that, whether it takes the fence and extend it out to the street from the apartment buildings, or put up some signs, something like that. Because just having random people walk next to our front door, if we can eliminate that, will go a long way. And then the other thing I would just ask, I know you said lights, or the pickleball courts close at 9. If we could maybe move that to 8:30. It's already past my bedtime. I like to go to bed pretty early. I'm up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I know summertime, it's not dark at 9 p.m., but something to request as well. So, yep, that's my thoughts. I appreciate everybody's time and everything that you've done for the village, and thanks for listening.
Real quick, what was your location
He's
in
at
terms?
the corner of Wellington and Chelmsford.
Are you in the quads?
The townhomes.
Yeah.
The townhomes across, okay.
No, so not
No.
across. So like
The
where
quads.
the parking lot is,
By
like
the-
I'm like 20
By
feet
the
from there.
mailbox.
The quads, you're the
Yeah.
quads.
Okay, yeah.
The
sorry, I thought-
townhouses are across the street where they
Like on
live.
Versailles, you're not on like
You're-
Versailles.
No,
No, he's
You're
on
in
the
the
quads.
quads, so
Yes.
basically your driveway for your garage comes off of Wellington, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so I just trying to.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
are
Sorry.
you
I-
at the
clarify
very-
where you're
Are you
couldn't
at the
understand that.
very end? Are you at the
Yeah.
very? Are you the ranch or is it second floor? You're not the ranch.
No, yeah, I'm the ranch. So I'm
Oh, you're
right,
the-
well, ours is actually double. We got
Oh,
upstairs
okay.
and downstairs, but my patio is like where the last parking spot is. Like, I could probably spit there if I wanted to. It's that close.
Because
Yeah.
I noticed in the morning, because I go every day to the fitness center, I noticed in the morning, probably about 4 or 5 cars from your quads park along Wellington from the mailbox toward the park.
Yeah.
They're out there all the time, and some, not too often on Wellington, mostly on Chelmsford, I mean. They park on there. What I would suggest for you, you got that dead-end street with the chain going across? Just like one quad over from you going
goes
towards
to Boardwalk.
Like going
Peasterfield?
into Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Park there.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, it's closed off. Park on the side. As long as the middle aisle is open, just park on the sides right there.
Okay, that's something to consider. I mean,
Think about that, because I thought of that right away. Don't fill up the whole street. You can't, because it's a fire aisle. But you can park on the sides. It's a full street. It's supposed to be a street, but Boardwalk when it closed years ago, because people were cutting through to avoid the traffic on Arlington Road and Beastfield, so it would cut through to Wellington there. So, but each side has parking.
Okay.
Park over there. That's because parking on the street, like say your wife had an accident, that's long before the park was even done.
no,
So,
I know that. I was just kind of more expressing the traffic that's
Right.
in that intersection itself
Yeah.
already.
But try parking over there. That'll probably help you a lot. As far as Boardwalk goes, we're very disappointed in Boardwalk.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard from more Boardwalk residents that are frustrated and upset. They got to go down that Chain Street, then go to Wellington, walk up Wellington. That's a pain. They
Totally
go, why
understand.
can't we go? They blame me. I said, don't blame the village, don't blame the park. We wanted to put an opening there, a gate opening. They said no. Talk to your association. Because I feel bad for them, because that's a park right there for them to use. Why make it more difficult for them?
Yeah,
And
and I
then it
have
wouldn't affect
emailed our
you.
association because I know there's only so much that you guys can do.
Right.
And I already knew that just from watching the last meeting. So I know that was kind of a stigma against you guys, and I know that wasn't your guys' choice. So
yeah, we want
yeah, I mean, in regards to parking, like that spot doesn't really help me because I do a lot of in-home training, so I'm constantly loading and unloading equipment
Right.
into my car. But good to
Good
know.
op-
At least we know that's there.
I know in Wellington, in the morning, on a weekend especially, all of Wellington's solid cars from all the unit owners pulling out and parking along,
Yeah.
which is fine. That's what it's meant for.
Right.
It's public parking there, use it.
Yeah.
You know, just act overnight you can't do. So, but I appreciate your comments.
Yeah.
I have one question though,
Yes.
because you're the only one I know that's in the quads. The back where your garage is, you know, you're
For the-
sharing the driveway to the, both buildings?
Yeah.
In there, do you have a room or something that backs up to the garage area?
So we have like our 1-car garage.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Okay, but
or I'm sorry,
I see a
we have
lot
the
of,
1-car garage.
I see a
and
lot
then-
of windows over the garages, so is that
Yeah.
bedrooms?
Yeah, because there's, at least in our building, I don't know if they're all the same. I would imagine they are. My next door neighbor, those are all his windows. So his goes above all the garages.
Okay.
So we can fit 1 car in our garage and 1 car in our driveway. And then other than that, there's like a couple little spaces, but they're no parking because they're used for emergency vehicles or something like that. So if I need to access my garage, we have to back 1 car out, move it onto the street, and then put the other car in our driveway.
Okay, because I'd go by there at 4:45 in the morning and.
I'm gone
stop.
already.
But your whole area there is lit up very well.
Yeah.
For your cars that are parked there and all that. Does that not affect the bedrooms?
Me personally, no. I mean, I bought
But that is pretty well lit up,
I
right?
bought the blackout shade, so.
Okay, that's what I'm just saying, so you,
And I
could-
sleep
there's
with a
some
face
way to
shield on,
mitigate
so.
the light, because, I mean, I can see very well in both sides there, and I just assumed that light would bother the people that live there
Yeah,
too.
that was never my argument with the lighting. It was, for me, it's.
Well, yeah, again, I'm only
congestion.
trying to figure out, because everybody says their addresses, but quads, the condos, the townhouses, and just trying to figure where everybody is.
Sure.
So I appreciate it.
There's, you're right, there's no parking signs up there right now on that little street.
That's what I thought.
We're gonna affect it. We're gonna change that.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that one more
On
time?
that little street that's got the chain,
Yeah, yeah.
there are no parking signs.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We're gonna change that.
Okay.
Fire department?
We'll allow you to park and still have enough room for the fire department to get down the middle. It's wide enough, it can do it.
Okay.
So we'll take care, so at least, maybe not you, but someone else may
Yeah,
wanna utilize,
anyone that can park there, that
Yeah.
would obviously mitigate it.
they'll get a little more parking.
Yeah. sounds
Okay.
good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I hope I say this right, I'm trying to read it good. Bernie Smuda, is that right, Smuda?
Well, maybe not.
All right? Oh, he left? Okay, thank you. Richard Nelson, that's a name we heard. Come on up.
Good evening. Thanks for making me famous, Mayor.
You're welcome. 4.8 billion, they saw it. We're good.
Thank you, Board, distinguished Mayor. You guys do a great job for the village. Number one in a lot of things. Congratulations. Keep it going.
Thank you.
I'm here just to talk about the last thing that's yet to be decided about Marshall Park, and that is pickleball. That's it. Everything else has been done. It's all been approved. Hearing back in 2021, the original plan, it's great. That's what's in place now. Besides the soccer field not being completed yet. But it's wonderful, great. The NIMBYs, which we've been called by many people, love it. We're not upset about that at all. It's just about pickleball. Pickleball didn't come till 2 years after the original plan. And it was never made knowledgeable to the neighborhood. Okay, when the Park District thought about it, they thought about it a year ago. We didn't know about it until March of this year. And we had 1 week's time before a plan commission hearing to do something about it. To say, hey, what's going on here? This is the first time we're hearing about this phase 2. So we got a petition out going. We got over 60 signatures. Park District had a 40 survey done. 22 came back. 15 said yes, they want it. 7 said no. Add our 60 in there. 67 said no. 15 yes. Why are we considered a minority? I beg to differ on that. So it would have been nice if.
Can I ask a question? You did a survey, the petition. Where did you go for that petition?
Around Marshall Park neighborhood.
But no one
Directly.
ever knocked on, no one ever
Direct
knocked on my-
neighbors.
But no one ever knocked on my door.
Well,
Jeff, did anybody knock on your door?
we didn't have the time, Mr. Mayor. We were given less than a week's notice for that plan commission meeting.
Okay.
People
that's fine.
worked. We didn't have the
Understood.
time, honestly.
I understand.
That's all.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay? So, thank you for bringing that up and asking that. But anyways, getting back to not being made aware ahead of time. But we did what we could. It went to the Plan Commission, which is an advisory to the board. And I hope, they really put their time and effort in, heard a lot of us talk, pickleballers for, against, and what they came up with was 6-2, that they agreed with the NIMBYs that, no, it's not a good idea to add that to the park with the stadium lighting. But Mr. Mayor, you came back and said, well, what if we just put the stadium lighting above the soccer fields? We agreed with that, because then you said, let's table the pickleball, because I think the Park District didn't think that they were going to have opposition to it like they did. And so since they did, they said, okay, we'll table it. Now we're going to go and we're going to look at other places. Instead of, shouldn't that have been done up front when the storyboard or the idea board for Marshall Park at the Park District, they're all like, okay, what do we do with the park? What do we do? Hey, let's put this here, let's put this here, let's put this here. In 2021, pickleball was never discussed. Lighting over the soccer fields was never discussed at the original plan. We love the original plan. Don't get us wrong. All the neighbors around Marshall Park loved the original plan. We went to that hearing in 2021 and said, it's great. Yes, let's do that. Awesome. Thank you very much for revamping the park. But not now with the pickleball. There are other options. They had to go back then, which they said they would do. What other options? 8 of them, I believe there was. Out of those 8, 4 of them, actually, the reason that they didn't want them, NIMBY. Wow. So they were also NIMBY, plus parking. Now, as parking is concerned, there's a memo out by Mr. Kirkio that said we can still add 24 additional parking spaces at Marshall Park if need be to help with the traffic in that, at $10,000 apiece, $240,000. So why couldn't those other parks that said NIMBY and parking, why couldn't you put those 24 spaces there? Make it 30, If that was their reason, was because we already had an existing parking lot, that shouldn't be the reason. You can put parking. You're willing to put another 24 spaces there. So why not put it at another location? And finally, we did talk individually with members of the Park District. And in talking with them, we wanted to work with them and give them ideas of where we think you could actually put pickleball and it would work and it would be quick and it would be inexpensive and it would at least see how this pickleball thing is going to take off or not. That's why we recommended 2 out of the 3 tennis courts at the Pavilion be converted for around $10,000, not $450,000 to put it at Marshall Park. It would have been quick, easy. We didn't ask for a complete redo. You don't need a complete redo. Many suburbs are doing this at their tennis courts that are basically unused because it's not that popular anymore. And even the pickleball players came to Park District meetings and said so. They said, yeah, tennis isn't popular anymore. And they actually said, we'd be okay with having pickleball at the Pavilion. So that's all. I just want to say, the way it was done, the Park District did a fantastic job, except not given the opportunity for the neighborhood to have a second hearing when they decided they wanted to add stadium lighting and pickleball. Going to biweekly Park District meetings, which most of us have since March, is not hearings. It's very small, can only fit so many people in there. You have a short time to speak during public session, and that's it. So I know whatever your vote, your decision is, I hope you take it seriously for the NIMBY's concerns, which is actually not a minority. The reason I put that survey out there is because to show that's something that the Park District could have done in the beginning. Okay, all of Elk Grove is on social media. They could have done it. Then we could have got a real accurate view of what people think. But the reason I took it down, Mr. Mayor, was because, one, I was being trolled, and secondly is because people were being very negative and derogatory towards those of us who didn't want pickleball. Certain words were being used. They're calling us old, crybaby NIMBYs. There was no reason to keep it out there. That language was uncalled for. I just asked for a simple yes or no.
I know.
Okay? So that's why I took it down, Mr. Mayor.
Trust me, I've been called a lot worse than that over the years.
So have
many
I.
times.
So have I.
But
I'm the same age as you, so have I.
But a couple things on that. One, again, we're not here to judge if they should put it somewhere else or not. Our job as a board, we're limiting our scope, is they're asking to put a recreation activity at a specific park. It's not our job saying, no, don't put it there, put it over there. That's not our job. That's not our job. Our
I
job
understand
is,
that, but you can
does it
say no.
work? Does it work there or not? Well, no, we got to judge, does it work there? We're going to decide in a little bit, but I told you the things they did to help make it fit there, that's things they put through. Now, the only thing is about your survey, you got to admit, Mr. Nelson, overwhelmingly, the people were definitely for, overwhelmingly, pickleball. They were for.
And those people are not the neighborhood people.
Well,
they
you don't know
weren't.
that. You don't know that.
I know pretty much everybody in the neighborhood. I know where you live too. I know
Yeah,
you're in the
well,
neighborhood. Thank you for
my-
being there.
my
We
neighbors-
get a lot of good services because of that.
Well, thank you. My neighbors,
That's not right.
my neighbors came up, my neighbors just came up a few minutes ago, both said, yes, we want it.
Well, I
Those are
got plenty
neighbors.
of my neighbors too who will come
They're
up
my-
and say no.
So what I'm saying is,
It's back and
we
forth.
have to look at the whole thing, and like I said, I did like your survey, I appreciate it, because it gave us a quick feel. Was it close? Was it gonna be, 45, 55%? I mean, when it's 6, 7 to 1, that's
Our
that's a
petition
loud
was also
message.
over 60 people, so there, that can offset it. And then we had to do that by leg. I wish the Park District would have done on social media.
I understand. But again, remember, your survey was only up a few hours, and you got more votes than you did on your petition and the Park District almost combined.
And more hateful language too.
Well, that's not good.
That's
That I agree with you.
Facebook.
That, Mr. Nelson, I
But-
agree with you.
Yeah, but all I asked for a simple yes or no.
Yeah, you did. You're-
I didn't expect people to start a conversation on it there. That's not.
I know.
not the
That I
place
agree
for
with
it.
you. It's unfortunate how people act sometimes. I agree. But I thank you for that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you for listening, and whatever you decide, but
Appreciate it.
appreciate your time. Thank you.
Vicky Franco? Did I say that right?
Yes,
Are they clapping because I said your name right?
you did.
Yes.
Vicky Franco, 1319 Parker Place. I'm on West Side. So don't get a whole lot of action there. The comment I'm going to make to him is this. Who has ever done a remodel in their home? Raise your hand. Okay. So you start with a couple cabinets, and then you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to do the bathroom. You know what? I think I'm going to put new carpeting. So my point is, you have this fantastic park, okay? And the park district thought, oh my God, we can get some pickleball courts in there. Yay! Because they changed their mind on certain things, and that's okay. We as residents shouldn't even question what they do. We assume they're doing it for everybody, whether it be the kids. Did the kids get a vote on the splash pad? Of course not. The Park District Board thought it'd be a great thing. And you know what? It is. So, did maybe they think maybe a basketball court? Of course. So they did that. And some residents were okay with that. And then the pickleball, I had no idea until tonight that they're actually going to put a sound barrier, which I'm sorry, I think is ridiculous. That's my view. So they're working so hard to make a couple households happy. And I'll go on record saying that the Park District is stellar, totally, they do a fantastic job. I don't know enough about any of you guys, but I do know that they do a really, really good job. And I've been here 40 years. So my kids have gone through whatever your kids have gone through and yada, yada, yada. So I salute the Park District, and I just, want to say, just broaden your horizons, people, and change is good. And pickleball, I'm sorry to say, or I'm not really sorry, it will be going on for years and years and years and years. Hence, that's why tennis isn't. So, you know, whatever you decide, I trust this board as much as I trust the, the Park District Board. But I'm gonna have all my pickleballers stand up in support. There we go. And we say, no big deal. Put them there. I understand the traffic. Listen, every homeowner, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, my neighbor is redoing her whole house. Do you know how much traffic there is? And this has been going on for over a month. So what? That's her prerogative. I can't, I'm one person. So we have to think about everybody here. And thank you for listening. Good night.
Hang on, Vicky, hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, you said you don't know what we do. I want to
No. I said, no. I didn't say that. I said, I don't know you.
Oh, okay.
No, I know what you do. Trust me.
I was gonna say, we're the ones that gave you a $200 gift card in your pocket. So that's what we do. We give money. We're taxing body.
What $200 gift
We,
card?
we're the taxing body that gives money
I'm
back.
West Side, so I don't get anything.
You got it.
You know, so
Oh,
I'm West Side. You guys all are East Side. So
Oh, no, that's not true. He's West Side.
Who's West Side?
I'm a West Side.
All right. You need
All
to
right,
watch
thank
a
you.
little bit more Channel 6 to see what's going on in town.
Gladys is a. Okay, come on up, Gladys. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, trustees, and everybody else here. I actually would like to ask the people that say they do play pickleball to let me know what time do you guys actually play pickleball? 9 o'clock in the evening, in the morning, or in the evening? I was just going to mention that the sport that we're talking about is for older people, and many people are not out of the, still in the streets, playing things after 8 o'clock. So I do have to say that I'm very happy with what the Park District has done. Beautiful, beautiful job. I am enjoying right now with the kids, meaning my puppies, that they are not even mine, my kids' puppies. So I am enjoying taking a nice walk over there. And of course, I am always very happy to see the kids being outdoor. And that is the main thing. But we need to also make sure that we have the police there to make sure that the traffic is being kept online. And the lights will be good if they can be there until 8 o'clock. I don't really see the need for anything else. I mean, it doesn't bother me because I do live down the road, but still I have to be concerned about the other people that are around there. So we need to learn to be conscientious about the other people that have different schedules of work, and that's what we need to think about it. Thank you so much for listening to me. That's all what I wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
They don't need to be, the lights cannot be 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock is more than enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Sue Catano, did I say that right, I hope? Sue, lives on Grissom Trail.
West Side.
Sue?
Not here? Okay. Tom Martin.
I'll keep it brief, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you,
As a
Tom.
former Northampton Circle
Neighbor. Yep.
neighbor,
Yep.
or almost neighbor, I'm definitely in favor of adding pickleball to Marshall Park. And I think the board and the Park District has gone to great lengths to try and minimize any impact on the neighbors, which you didn't have to do. So, thank you.
Tom, thank you. Michelle Cran, I hope I said it right, apologize.
Hi there. I'll also keep it brief. I'm Michelle Cron. I live on the west side, Christian Court, in Elk Grove. I did get the $200 gift card.
You get your choice? Did you get it?
Got it. Got it.
See? Well, you know why? We like her. So, I gotta be honest.
I just want to commend, again, all of you that are public servants, the Park District, exemplary village. I've lived here since 1993. I think you've hit most of the salient points, the objections, to be polite to the residents that live around the park. And I happen to live on Christa Court right across the street from Link Grade School, which also has a park with hundreds of students. We're okay with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Susan, would that be Loesch?
Loesch.
Loesch? Versailles Circle? Okay. Gabrielle George, is that right? Nope.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm new to Elk Grove reasonably as a resident. I just moved here 6 months ago with my children. And one of the biggest selling points for me was the park, because my little one, who's 10, absolutely loves to run and play. And my older son loves to walk with him, and I like to be out in the good weather with both of them. And we have been by the park a couple times. We did leave once because there was some foul language being used by some kids at the basketball court, which I don't really appreciate. And instead of making a scene, we just left home. I live in Boardwalk, and I am concerned for my neighbors who live on the opposite side of me, who are right back up to the park. With the lights, I know that I wake up very early in the morning to go to work. I am a 4 a.m. riser and a 5 a.m. leaver, and I go to bed early. So 8 p.m. for me, as it is well past my bedtime already today, 8 p.m. is my bedtime, so we are all knocked out at that time. I'm not against pickleball or basketball or soccer, as my children have played most of those, with the exception of pickleball. Somebody's gonna have to teach me that. I am concerned about the lighting. As somebody who wakes up early, I don't know everybody's time. I do know a few of my neighbors and friends who live over there. I can't imagine what that lighting does to your house. I've lived in residences before where lighting on streets and parks has shined through our windows, and it's very uncomfortable. I'm also concerned about the safety of our kids with the increase of adults coming in to play adult games. As a parent, I think everybody worries about that. I did drive the neighborhood. I do drive the neighborhood for my job, and I have had not good experiences when I was driving my personal vehicle in the neighborhood. I don't know, the speed limit is 25. I can't imagine how fast this person was going. But the park wasn't even open yet at that point. And I think about the children that walk to the park with their parents, the little ones that run ahead, and with cars going fast. I'm thinking speed bumps, maybe, in the presence of the no parking area right in front of the park. Some of the residents coming around the corners, don't take those corners so slow. For the younger gentleman that spoke earlier, I can concur that in my own personal vehicle. In my school bus that I drive professionally, I can say that my stop arm has been blown repeatedly in that area, and that would be your neighborhood, Mayor. So those are concerns for me. Everybody wants to go to the park, and when you say park to a kid, boy, they are 10 miles ahead of you and booking Mach 4 out the door. So those are concerns for me as a mother. As a resident, the park has been beautiful for us. My son is excited. I worry about the lights. I worry about the safety of the kids coming from their homes, whether it be from the condos, the townhomes, the single-family homes. I worry about their safety. I worry about the police patrols at night. I've noticed that there are some Elk Grove teenagers, let's say that, who walk through even our properties. Who don't belong in that area, who don't reside in our neighborhood. And it concerns me at the park. You know, with lights being out, let's say if you were to go with 9 o'clock, Teenagers, their curfew is what, 10:30 during the weekdays? I worry about that. I worry about what they're doing in the park. And, you know, with tagging, and I hate to say this out loud to all of us as adults, but the acceptance of marijuana in the state of Illinois, that becoming an issue, that is a concern of mine as well. So policing that area is something that I would like to see increase. On the speed bumps, I think we definitely put, although you might hear people scrape out their front bumper and probably their rear axle, would be something that I would consider in that area because they do not mind the speed limit. And our children are our first and foremost priority, I think. So with all due respect to my pickleballers and all my basketball friends and all the other parents, I think that that is our main concern here is our children. And do we want to be able to put them at bed at 8 o'clock at night and not have a light shining in their window? And do we want them to be safe when they cross the street with us? Do we want to make sure that our residents are adhering to that or our non-residents are adhering to that? Those are concerns of mine. And what goes on in the park when the lights go off? You were talking about that soundproofing screen. I worry because that becomes a hiding place for a lot of people. Teenagers, as we've all been, young and experimental in our time, tend to flock to those kinds of areas because they're unseen. So those are my concerns. As a mother and a new resident to Elk Grove, I have to say I love Elk Grove. I moved here for the safety. I moved here because I saw families here. I moved here because I service families in this area. And it was something beautiful for me to be able to become a part of that. So I'm here tonight to speak that as a mother, as a new member of your community. And I've always loved Elk Grove. It's beautiful. We're right by the park. We're right by Bussey Woods. We're right by the Jewel. We're right near here. We've used the fountain here many times, even when we didn't live here. So those are concerns that I think we need to consider. Our children are our first and foremost priority. They should always be. Not whether or not we're allowing pickleball or we're allowing this. Are we keeping them up at night? Are we doing our best to keep them safe? Those are things that I think are the most important and should be first and foremost on all our minds.
You said you used our fountain park here before you moved here?
Yeah.
What, was that one of the reasons you chose to move to Elk Grove, the amenities we had?
I have worked for a company that is contracted through 59 and out through 214 for 6 years. And in driving my students around and being a part of the training programs with administration in the schools, it is something that fell to my heart. I felt at home here. And so when I had an opportunity to move, I seized it. Boardwalk is quiet, it's peaceful. I know my neighbors, I work with some of them. The children around in the community are children I've served from the time they are wee little to the time they're teenagers, and now most of them are in college. Okay. So it is something close to my heart. It is something that came to me. And I was super excited when I saw that there was a park behind us. And then I was like, wait a minute, we're putting in lights, why? I'm like, 9 o'clock, that's way past my bedtime. And it's way past my son's too.
Well, now, you bring up, you don't want lights in your house, but then you're saying
well, I don't live
when the
there.
lights
I'm
go
seeing
off.
from my neighbors, my friends on the other side.
No, but you're saying you don't want lights out there in the house trying to go to bed at night, but you're upset when lights go off at night because you either want lights on or off.
No, I didn't say I was upset when lights are off. I'm saying that the screen, my concern with that is that it's a great place for teenagers to hide and be teenagers.
There was a big school there blocking the roadway where they could hide behind there for 30, 40 years, where they could have hid.
Well, they're always going to find a way.
This is going to be a big open spot.
They're always going to find a way.
They're always going to find every one of the
Where
parks
there's a
in Elk
will and a
Grove,
teenager, there's a
Dartmouth,
way.
There's always going to be kids in those parks.
Right.
And that's,
Do we lock the
unfortunately,
bathrooms
parents
at
should be
night?
the ones looking
Pardon?
at that.
Do we lock our restrooms there at night?
Yes,
They
they're
do?
locked
Those
up.
will be. There's
They
not
do?
very
Okay.
many restrooms at any
Right,
other park.
this place they are locked
No,
up.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. a
No, they
question.
do. I saw Rich last night, the security guy, go
Okay.
by. He was locking them up. One thing about the lights, you may not have saw it. One thing I give Park District kudos for was they did one heck of a survey on light effect on the homes around the park for soccer lights and all that. And it's amazing today, because you're right. When I was a kid growing up here, when the baseball lights were on, you lit up the whole block for
Oh, man,
blocks
you
ago.
could see for miles.
But today, the way the lights are, you literally have almost no impact 5 feet behind the light pole.
Okay.
Almost no impact. Matter of fact, Commissioner Walls is going to have a light pole, 20 feet behind your house? 20 feet behind his house. And he's a commissioner. He voted for it, knowing that the way they do lights, the way the lights fall, that's why they're higher. the light goes down and doesn't go out. And
again,
so that will make minimal impact for you. I'm saying is,
Well, it
where you're
would
on a
not
boardwalk.
impact me, but it would, my concern is for my neighbors.
And the
that is
neighbors
all
will be
my concern
fine.
is.
With these lights, your neighbors will be fine. The lights will not have impact on their properties like they used to do. And again, they go off at 9 o'clock. That's gonna be the board's
Could we change
recommendation.
the time to 8?
Pardon? No, there's no need to. 9 o'clock's fair. 9 o'clock's a fair time. They wanted 10 o'clock. We moved it to
No,
9.
I'm just saying for families, most of us are inside getting our kids to bed at 8.
Yeah,
Well, depending
9
on the time of year, too.
It depends on what, yeah, it's gonna be
5
light
till
out
9.
anyways. It's gonna be light out there anyways, because.
So does that change during the seasons?
It might, but they're not gonna be playing year-round.
Right,
In the
I
winter,
understand.
they're
So when the
playing
lights get dark earlier, no one's gonna be playing, it was
And it
cold.
may not be every night.
Yeah, it'll be cold. But to speed the police, just so you know, our police are watching. Any new area we have, new facility, they spend a little more time watching until it gets acclimated to the neighborhood, till it's not so new and fresh. So if you, I'm surprised you haven't seen them. Our police been
They
out
do
there.
an amazing job
Yeah.
paroling boardwalk
And
as
they-
well. And
yeah.
I'm not, there's no negativity I have toward the police department. They do an excellent job.
Last thing you brought up about speed bumps aren't gonna happen. We don't put speed bumps on our
That's a
streets.
shame.
No, they're not gonna happen. No, it's not conducive to car traffic on a regular basis to have speed bumps up and down residential streets. It does not, one, it doesn't work, and two, it does more damage than it does good.
Plows
So
get blown
it
up.
won't, yeah, that won't happen. There's no
Well,
need.
If you're
yeah,
not
so-
speeding, that wouldn't happen.
Trust
I'll
me.
tell you what, though, in that whole area, because we both live there,
Mm-hmm.
I see the cars speeding, and it's the residents, a lot of it. I'm sorry. I see it. I live on Brantwood, and they come down
Put your hand on a Bible, sir.
down Chelmsford to Brantwood to go to Arlington Heights Road every day.
Yeah, they use it as
And
a
it's-
cutoff and
Unfortunately, our
fly.
kids, younger kids, but I see adults, and they're flying down there all the time. It's
the locals.
It's what they do. I
There you go.
People that aren't from the area usually go slower, they're not so familiar. The local people, hey, I know where I'm going right around this corner. They
Yeah.
take off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we
It
wa-
was
we
pretty
will
bad.
watch it.
Oh, I
We
agree.
will watch
We
it.
don't want
It's
it.
pretty bad.
We live over there too. We
Should
don't
have
want
one
it.
of our fellow officers sit over there and just have a field day.
We, trust me, they watch more than you think.
Oh, I'm sure
And
they do.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of police there, even despite this park, and for other reasons.
Okay.
So we have more police present area than most areas do, and it's for unfortunately other reasons. So I wouldn't worry too much.
Thank
You're
you.
fine.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pat Mitchum? Is Pat here?
Patricia.
It says Pat.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello, and I will keep this brief. I've addressed this group many times before. And I just wanted to say, you mentioned tonight, Mr. Mayor, that it was also your job to protect the minority. And I'm a homeowner of that quad at the end of Wellington and Chelmsford. So I would dispute the fact that it's 200 feet away. And it's going to impact us. And what it does, too, is it takes away part of living there that we liked the best. You know, I mean, when we rent it out now, but when I was in, Victor, actually, the man that spoke earlier, was my tenant, and he does his work out there. And when I lived there, I used to sit out there and read books, and it was my favorite part of my home. And it's just, it just so concerns me to lose that for my tenant and for the people in the area. You know, that little, tiny little piece of nature that's yours, you know, and that's gone. So I do really respect what you guys said, you know, the people that care about other people, the other lady that was concerned about her neighbors. And, you know, what, unfortunately, a lot of this acrimony that's come up is just so unnecessary, you know? I mean, we're not against the pickleballers. I hope that they can appreciate our concern for our home value, you know. I've read on the internet. I don't know. I've never had any personal experience until this, how this is going to affect my ability to rent it out after we lose our current tenants, or if we ever decide to sell the place. So they say noisy places like that do affect property value. So
Who says that now? The internet?
I've read that. Yeah.
The internet?
So the internet, okay.
Well, no, oh, come on.
Well, I'm just saying the internet. I mean, some people may like to build, if they have kids, may want to move in there and say, hey,
Well,
my
I'm
kids
just
can go
saying
out the
it
back
from a
door and
noise
go to a
standpoint, that,
But now you don't
you're
reside there?
guessing.
You don't reside there now? You
no, I
live there?
don't. I'm an
Oh,
owner.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have tenants that live there.
Is the noise bad there now?
No, it's not.
Okay, the park's been open for a week and a half, so you're saying the noise, you don't know what the noise is gonna be. We don't know what the noise is gonna be.
Which is why I'm going to ask you to slow down.
Slow
You know,
down what- I
well,
mean, the
well,
Hang on,
park's there
Jeff,
already.
hang on.
no, the park is fine.
But hang-
Nobody was saying that the park is a problem.
But ma'am, they're addressing your noise concerns. Directing toward your unit is gonna be a sound wall. 200
Okay,
feet
we
away
do
and a
appreciate
sound wall on
that.
top. It's gonna be the double.
We
So
do
you
appreciate
should-
that.
Yeah, you should be in good shape. You should be fine. But again, like I say, it's like I say, it's daytime. It's not nighttime. It's not like they're playing pickleball at midnight, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It's during the day when you got cars going by all the time. You got what they call other ambient noise going on. O'Hare Airport using Beastfield Road to line up. That you're gonna hear far more than you're gonna hear pickleball.
Well,
You
it's
got-
just one more factor, though.
But
you
again,
know.
I don't think you'll hear much of it at all.
Well, we'll
I really-
see. And
yeah.
if we do, then what?
Go to the
Go-
park district.
Yeah, go to the park, they'll find other soundproofing. They'll look for other soundproofing methods. They're, if they have to adjust, they'll adjust things. I know they will. But I would not be overly concerned at all in this, not one bit. I think it's gonna be fine. They took into account distance, they took into account soundproofing. They did far more than other ones. Trust me, if you backed up to a baseball field that plays till 11 o'clock at night with lights, and noise, that you'd be seeing. This is gonna be confined to just summertime, up to 9 o'clock at night. I think you'll be fine.
Well, one other point I want to make is the $450,000 that's going to be spent to make these 6 pickleball courts. Why can't we put that toward,
That's their, ma'am, that's them. That's not our decision with the money.
Well,
That's
pickle-
all Park District.
John, what
So,
about you?
Well, talk to them
Is-
about that, not here
Okay.
tonight, this is to address the
Okay,
board.
all right. I
but-
mean, as a pickleballer, I would think you guys would love to have an indoor facility where you could play all year. Well, okay, all right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mary Lee Burnett? Did I say that right? Oh.
Mayor, I have made some notes, but I see that you've done your homework and your introduction was brilliant. And I think you're doing a great job. I just wanted to say I've been playing in Rainbow Falls for about 4 years now. I have seen, I started playing pickleball 10 years ago when it was the fastest growing sport in North America. I think it's still the fastest growing sport in North America now. Playing at Rainbow Falls, I've seen the number of people play pickleball quadrupled continuously. I mean, there's just so many people playing, and people of all ages. It's not just old people. We see more and more younger millennials and teenagers playing. So this is a sport for everybody. Hang on, my notes just went. We also really don't like playing in cold weather, windy weather, or wet weather. So there won't be any lights on during those times. And of course, it's more of a summer sport. I think, so we know that, I think it's the Park District has lessons, which take up a lot of the courts where the regulars want to play now. So I think that you've envisioned the need for more pickleball courts, or you or the village in this plan. And I think the pickleball players are more than excited knowing that there's more courts being built just to support them. And we thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we've got 3 more folks, and I hope you didn't mind, because I want to give, I think the 3 folks have talked the most about this issue, which I respect, and that I'm going to let them make the last arguments. So that's why I've that's the only thing I rearrange. So it's Connie, Lori, and Bill will be the 3, Bill Havlin. So, Connie, if you want to go first? So I wanted you to get a chance to be the last one we heard from before a decision's made.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity that you have created for us, Mr. Mayor, by sending notices out so broadly in the community. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak with the board that is looking at a larger issue. And the larger issue is not pickleball or no pickleball. That isn't the issue. Unfortunately, how it's been handled is turned into a contentious issue. And as Victor and other people have commented, is that the neighborhood that lives around Marshall Park has always been a wonderful neighborhood. The school, the park that was there, has always been very welcomed by the people that live there. The new splash pad, the playground, and the walking path are extremely welcome. We've looked forward to it. We've gone through over 2 years of construction, dust and dirt and noise. And so it was a welcome thing to see the Park District finally get itself together. What I've given you in a packet, however, I would like you to just take a look at very, very briefly. The first page is what was Marshall Park. And if you notice, it says Marshall Park and the Park District. And that's what I've lived across for 50 years. That park is where my children played, my grandchildren played, my husband and I would walk across and have a cup of coffee. And it's a piece of property that has been tranquil, and it's offered the kind of feeling that people like to have about a park. Parks are supposed to be recreation and fun, but they're also supposed to be other things. If you'll take a look at the first picture, we had a public meeting in 2021 that has already been referred to. And at that meeting, a very, very large meeting that all of us welcomed, that the Park District created for us. And we had a wonderful opportunity that night to express ourselves. Lots of people signed in, the signatures of those people, and all of the events that happened that night became part of the grant for $400,000. And we were very happy to contribute. If you'll take a look at the right-hand corner of that first picture, you'll see a basketball court, and it's right by the parking. And it's the area that Victor talks about that is less than 100 feet from his home. And one of the reasons why we focused on the basketball court there is that, yes, we do have teenagers, and teenagers do certain kinds of things in park, particularly after dark, okay? And so the people in the group asked to have the basketball court moved, okay? And it was moved. And not necessarily moved to where everybody wanted it to be moved, but we got it away from the corner, and the object was to prevent some of the kinds of noise that go on at midnight and the broken beer bottles, okay? And if you go to the next picture, that represents what became the picture that went with the grant. And if you'll take a really good look at that, okay? And what that picture shows you is that there's a large open space. The large open spaces were one of the three things that the majority of the people in Elk Grove Village wanted in the 2023 survey. But it was also the main thing that people were interested in preserving in the 2021 meeting. At that time, there was to be a small water feature, I think they called it a rain feature, over on the left-hand side of the park. And if you'll notice, below the soccer field, it is totally open, okay? And then we had the splash pad and the children's playground and the walking path and the exercise, and that became the application for our grant. Along with that, I've presented to you the pages that came from the 2021 meeting. And if you'll notice some of the things that are in it, just a few: no lights, dawn to dusk, okay? Open space for people to be able to exercise, to be able to have flexible activities, to be able to throw a ball. And as they did Sunday across from my house, people wanted to picnic, okay? They want to get together, and they wanted the serenity and the tranquility of that piece within all of the other activities of the park. And you can take a look at that later on your own. But the other little page that I put in for you is a piece that went with the grant. And it's a piece that down at the bottom, little bitty piece, says that Marshall Park is a neighborhood park and will not be a community park. This is 2021, okay? The next page, you'll have to excuse me, my vision isn't real good. I need my magnifying glass a minute. The next page is a page that came to me from Mark, who's one of the directors of the Park District, because a large, big piece was posted outside of the park, and it said there was to be a meeting on this anniversary. This is the 18th of June. That meeting was scheduled for the 18th of March. And we all went, what? But a letter came to us with it that said that the Park District was applying to the Planning Commission to add some activities to it. At that time, no one in the neighborhood had any idea whatsoever that that was happening. None. Had never heard of it. No one had ever spoken of it. No one had ever sent a survey, nothing. Mark sent to me at that time picture number 3, okay? And picture number 3 has pickleball, and it also has the retention pond. And if you'll notice, they're right next to one another, okay? To not belabor the point anymore tonight, we ask, how big is this? 15,000 square feet. How big is 15,000 square feet? 2 small city lots in Elk Grove Village, okay? The park was still going to be open from dawn to dusk, but it was going to have lighting, so it seemed to be kind of a contradiction. I have a little map, or picture, I think. Excuse me. I'm missing, oh, here we go. Okay. You don't have this one. It's a small print that comes from the Park District that shows the pickleball. And if you've been by our area, you've seen the retention pond, okay? Thursday night, I asked, how big is the pickleball? How big is this facility we're talking about? And I got a figure from Mark. It's not the same figure that's on this piece of paper. But I'd like you all to take a look at the room that you're sitting in. The width of this room is approximately 40 feet, okay? Conceive of that being 40 feet times 3. How big is your house? If you take a look at the front of Marshall Park, from where the parking lot is on the right-hand side, and you can take a look at the picture that you have that I gave you. and all the way down to the last tree, okay, is 130 feet. In other words, the entire front of Marshall Park is a black, 10 feet tall, shrouded pickleball course. I had no conception whatsoever that it was that size. I was shocked. I measured it. A friend of mine measured it. We couldn't even conceive of it. But the worst of it all is that if you figure the figures on this, okay, it's 180 feet. But you know what? It's one thing for it to cover the entire front of the park. And then when you drive by on Chelmsford, that's what you're going to see. Because it goes back 104 feet. Remember, this room is 40 feet wide. Conceive in your minds how far back 104 feet is. It brings you within approximately, and I'm not an engineer, but approximately 10 feet of the splash pad. 10 feet tall, over the top sign of the splash pad. I can't even conceive of that. When I sit on my patio in the afternoon, as the sun starts to tilt southwest, a shadow begins to fall, and it would fall right over the splash pad.
Well, now remember, Connie, we're not gonna have them put the walls, the screening up on the
Pardon
sides
me?
you're talking about. The screening won't be up, the soundproof screening won't be up on the Chelmsford side or the backside facing toward Boardwalk and the
what?
homes.
Screening.
The screening, the
There won't
soundproof
be
screen.
screening around the
No.
entire thing?
They're not gonna do that, no.
Oh.
The soundproofing will be on each side toward the homes and the quads. It won't be toward the others, because everything's so far away from
I
those.
live 150 feet from the driveway, from the curb of the driveway.
Right.
I am 150 feet.
Plus
Mayor
another
Johnson.
100
I'm not 200.
No, you're over, because then you got another 129 feet to the pickleball court. So if you're 150 from your house to the curb, from the curb to the pickleball court, it's another 129. You're about 280 feet from the.
No, I am not.
Hang on.
My
Connie.
lawn, where my sidewalk is, measures from there to the curb of the park, 150 feet.
Are you talking about
Okay?
the parking lot
And you're
curb?
perfectly happy to come and measure it. But that isn't even the issue.
But Connie, wait.
Aesthetically, think of 130 to 180 feet of whatever across the front of the park. You will see nothing else.
Okay, but Connie, just so I know, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Connie? I want to make sure I understand. You're saying from the side of your unit to the curb by the park is
150 feet.
Okay,
I think we're
and
confused
then
there.
it's another, Connie, then it's another 112 feet after that from the curb to the pickleball court.
Is
How
she
could
saying the
that be?
parking lot?
I've got it
There
right
isn't
here.
that room. From the corner,
So from the
all the way
pickleball
back.
fence to her house?
It's
how
112
far?
feet to the curb, and then 150 feet to your house. That's 262 feet away.
But where is the pickleball course going to go, Mayor?
On the other side of the parking lot, opposite side from you.
On your map.
It's 150 feet from the pickleball to the house.
No, it can't be. Well, I've got the measurements right here. Just to the sidewalk, it's 112 feet, just to the sidewalk. Then you got the sidewalk to the curb. What's the width of our street over there? It's a wider street. What's the width of our street over there?
Well, it's
Where-
4 cars.
What's a normal street? About 66 feet? So you got 66, you got 80 feet from where it stops by the sidewalk to the other side of the curb. You got 80, you got another 80 feet. So now you have 192. Then from that curb to your house, it's probably about 250 feet away. We got the measurements.
You know what? I would welcome to have someone come, because I have one of those automatic measure. I'm not interested in that. That's not the point. The point is that how can you put 130 to 180 feet of pickleball across the front of the park?
It's not
How
the
can
front.
that be?
It's not gonna be on the front. It's gonna be on the sides of pickleball. So it'll be on the sides facing the houses on Shelley and the quads on Wellington. So facing Chelmsford will be open, facing toward
Why
Boardwalk.
would it be open on Chelmsford?
Because one, you've got so much distance, the noise should be no impact. Secondly, it's for, like you say, you want safety to see through. It's gonna allow safety to be seen. Now, if the noise should be there, they can put in some soundproofing, but they don't think it's gonna be there because you're 260 feet away. And from the, I wanna make sure, now, this information you gave, you also gave us this information?
I gave you that.
Okay. In your own information you gave us, the one gentleman says, pickleball wax from 100 feet could reach 70 decibel. That's from 100 feet. The closest house is 200 feet, and some places could be 250. So decibels are gone. But more importantly, to the park district's kudos. It says right here, few lessons have crystallized within the group. Soundproof barriers, a go-to solution for first, can be expensive, but effective. Then they go, moving pickleball ball far away from human life may be the only surefire solution. So they're not only putting up soundproofing, they're moving the distance. They're taking what you gave me to do, they're doing exactly what you said to do. I give kudos to the park district. They did exactly what you said should be done to minimize the impact on the homes. So that's good.
It says that mitigation has not been effective, but you have to do the whole thing and go down.
You have to wrap the whole thing.
Well, if it needs to be done, they'll do it. But they're gonna try without it because they don't, I think it may not need to be done. Let's see if distance, they say right here in your own paperwork, the most surefire solution will be distance. That's all, they're giving distance. They're doing it, plus they're putting soundproofing. They're doing both. I commend them for the extra effort, and that's from your notes. I took it from your own stuff you gave me. I read it, it's right there. Yeah, so I mean, they're doing what you asked them to, what you're asking them to do, and you highlighted it. You highlighted it in here.
Mayor, it's according to like information I just got, it's 125 yards, which is very different than feet. So that would be times 3
What's 125 yards?
from the driveway that's next to you to where the pickleball court will be 125 yards, which is roughly 375 feet. So there's a different. I think you might be measuring yards instead of feet.
No. We took a 100 tape yesterday, okay?
Yards?
And measured it. No. 100 foot tape, okay?
But again,
I am
So that went
100
across the
You know
street
what? You
and
can
park-
have it any way you want it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Con. Okay, next, we have Lori Christensen. And folks, one thing why Lori's coming down, you notice we don't have time limits here in the village. We think it's important for people to have the chance to say what they want to say. I get a little frustrated when I see other government entities putting time limits on people. We don't agree with that. We think this is your chance for us to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
Just want to say one more time that we were against the fact of how this got handled. We were never a part of anything. Everything still feels very rammed down our throat. This didn't help it. Not that you care, but just thought I'd toss that one out there for you. And the lights are an issue, not because you have the beautiful, expensive ones that go this way. The lights extend the life of the park. The parks you're referring to and have all these houses around us and all that, they don't have lights in them. That changes everything. And Connie and I measured last night, and what she's saying is correct. When you're saying tonight, first thing you said was we're only going to put the soundproofing on the ends for the safety. We had discussed this before with the Park District. They said, no, that's not a problem because we're going to put this around here so she has soundproofing on her house. So 1 minute we're doing one thing, next, this is what our problem's been all along. Okay?
Well, this is our, just so you know, this, we have not been, understand this, how they ran all this prior to tonight, we're not part of.
I understand.
We're not part of it. What happened, real quick, what happened, again, they made a proposal to us. We acted on the proposal they gave us. Then they wanted to modify the proposal, which they have a right to do.
Right.
We acted on the modifications. We're doing exactly what we're supposed to do. Whether they ran their meetings right or wrong before, that's no jurisdictional issue to the village. It has nothing to do with Elk
Got
Grove,
it.
their village government on that. So that's it. Now, about the soundproofing fencing, the light, that is our suggestion to approve something. We want to modify it. Again, when it goes up, if the sound needs to be soundproof more, we'll give them permission to do it.
Right.
We're trying to minimize the impact by doing these modifications. When we looked at the distance and the feet, reading all the information, kind of like we just got from Cynthia, we read the information you provided. We're following what you provided us to do. We're doing exactly what you asked us to do, and distance and all the rest. So we're trying to meet what you're looking for to get done, and that's what we're working on. So again, we were not party. Whether they did it right or wrong, that's not us to judge.
Right.
If you're upset, I respect that. If you think they do it, I respect you're upset. But it's not our part to do that part. Our part's to make a decision on what they present to us, and that's what we're doing tonight.
Right. They presented her somewhere along the night tonight when we walked in, the first thing you said is now we only have soundproofing on the two ends and the front is open. That is not what they've been telling us to tell us why it was a good
And
idea.
we're doing
We
that to
have
make
never
it-
been against pickleball. We
Right.
have never. It's about the way the whole thing's been handled, the lights and
And
the
I
nonsense.
respect that. I respect. But again, we're not deciding how they handle it.
Right.
We just here to decide what they're requesting to be done. Again, we're doing that soundproofing, Nettie, to hope open up more. So it's like she said, you don't have to look at a wall. If it's not necessary, don't do it. If it's necessary, they'll have the capability to put it up. We're going to try it
Which
without
would then
it.
mean we look at the wall, right?
Pardon?
Then we look
But
at
then
a
they're going to
wall
have to
thing.
put a lot of
Yeah,
landscaping
and we have to
because
look
we want
at
it
So
landscaped
sorry.
off. But
Sorry,
remember
honey,
this
that's how
though,
life goes.
it's a lot better wall than what used to be there.
I
There was
don't
a
think
giant
so.
school that was there for decades.
And we loved it.
It's a lot better than a
Yeah,
giant
we
school.
loved the school. We loved everything about the park. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you. Last one is, yes, Bill, you're up.
Oh.
Thank you.
Good evening again. Thank you for your time and service to Elk Grove Village.
Thank you.
It's greatly appreciated. I respectfully request that you follow what the Planning Commission presented to you. I also ask again that you partner with the Park District and identify a location someplace in Elk Grove Village that would not impact the residents, the people, and allow them, the pickleball people, to play pickleball. To get off script, it's not the noise, it's the pitch. The Wall Street Journal, a scientist, came in and tried to identify why this pitch is so unpleasant. And we hear about mitigation. It has to be full mitigation and it has mixed results. This is not just a local issue, this is something that's going on coast to coast. It's not a windscreen, it's a curtain that extends from the top of the fence 10 feet, some have tried 15 feet and have got mixed results. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, the board's prepared to act, but I know Bill and John Walls, you both, do you want to still speak or not speak? It's your call. John?
I think everybody's covered everything that we've heard.
Okay. Bill?
I just had just a couple things. I wanted to brag about our park district, first of all, because that's what seems nobody's talking about. And then I just looked up one thing. So, yes, my name is Bill O'Malley, and I have lived in Elk Grove 63 years, and I've spent 23 years on the park board. And in my 23 years, I've never had anybody come to any village meeting and complain about the park district or something that we did, something that we built between the maintenance building and Rainbow Falls and Calf Community Parks, the pavilion, splash pads, Fountain Square. When we do something, our staff is just as professional as your staff. They are well respected not only in the community, and this is one thing I want you guys all to know, in the community, which I think is just more important than catching some of the awards you get from architects. We did a survey last year, random houses, 400. Then after that, we asked anybody in the community to give us their feedback so that we can listen to what they're saying. And everybody up here knows there's some naysayers that they want to get on and slam the Park District, good or bad. Again, it's welcome. We asked anybody to fill this out. This independent group that ran the survey said we are the second highest rated park district they've ever had to do a survey with. Ever. Second highest. So we take pride hearing it from the residents that say you have a great park district. The realtors that talk about some of the appraisals that might happen. I've already seen some of the realtors talking about that you're close to Marshall Park. They're using it as a selling point. If we were to add pickleball, it'll be done professional. Our staff spends countless hours researching it, the studies, the soundproofing. Yes, all the board members, all the staff get about the community. Somebody said this may be a contentious issue, but it's not a contentious conversation. I've talked to Connie numerous times. I've spent an hour on the phone with Lori. I've talked to Victor a couple times. If we see a problem, we will mitigate it. It's that simple. It's something we've done in the history of Jack Clays and people that have preceded me and other board members. We can resolve any problem. But to not build something just because there's 10 or 15 people in a neighborhood or a community that don't want it, let us build it and we will fix it if it's not done right. But I have utmost faith in our staff, just like I have the utmost faith in your board to see big picture items. When Richard spoke, and it wasn't so much that we think they're in the minority or he thinks he's not in the minority. I'm looking at things from a community standpoint. His neighborhood is in the minority when it comes to the community. We're hearing his voices, we just happen to disagree. When I heard one of the other people spoke, I actually did a little research myself, and I wanted this board to know that before they vote. And it was about property values, because it's gone back and forth. So I looked up just property value. You can Google stuff, but fortunately for me, there was an Economics Research Association report. It was submitted to the Illinois Association of Park Districts, and it was to establish real estate impact on parks and recreation. And so it's 15 to 20 pages long, but I just took out the executive summary. Just a couple bullet points. Neighborhood parks can provide up to a 20% increase in housing values for those homes facing the park. Benefits from a neighborhood park can extend to approximately 600 feet. Then right underneath it, it says community parks, which we have this vague definition. Is it community? Is it neighborhood? All I know is it's good. Community parks may provide benefits up to 33% of the residential real estate value. Homes within 1,000 feet of a large community park may receive a 9% increase in home value. And I think Jeff or Trustee Frankie said it. I don't see property values going down. So I don't think it's property values. I don't think it's noise. I don't think it's parking. Everything that we've listened to, I'm trying to see if there's any validation to what they're saying. And when we refute it, sometimes I feel like they're not hearing it. So I don't see a problem with it. Again, everything we've seen so far is that it's been great. Why would we get to the last part and screw something up? We're not. We have a great staff. We brag about them as much as you do. I'm comfortable that what they're gonna do, the rest of the community is going to applaud. And when it comes to pickleball, why we're adding it? Because just like Vicki had said, it's a blueprint that we were working on in the year 2021. Things change, you know what? We didn't have a pavilion and all the people behind on Yarmouth thought that they had to look at a building. We didn't have Fountain Square and it got added. You know what? Things that your board has done that you heard complaints on that ended up not even being valid. Widening of Beisterfield Road. Everybody complained west of Rowling Road. People complained when the Home Depot was going to go up because now they have to look at that. There's so many things that people want to complain about, but give it a chance to work. And that's all I'm saying as a park board member. And did you have any questions that me or the board could actually answer factually?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so the action of the board now is, do we have to have the documents? What do you got to do on this?
I'm trying to think what we did with the,
There should be direction to prepare paperwork.
yeah, direct me to prepare. It's a recommendation that you got from the Plan Commission. Now we have to act and basically.
We're acting on the recommendation.
Well, and then, yeah, acting on their.
We're going to work
on their,
contrary, but we're still
correct.
acting on the recommendation. Okay, so what I'm going to recommend is that, one, if approved by the board, we set a 9 PM time to be consistent with lights for the soccer field. Secondly, the soundproofing, if they could, build in to do the whole thing, but if you could start off at the two ends first, and let's mitigate and see what the impact is, because I think it would look more open, more park-like if you don't need it on the sides, not to put in, then put it up if you have to. So put in what you have to get it built, but that, and then we want to see extra landscaping to soften the impact of the of the fence soundproofing screen around it. Is there any other issues need to be added by the board?
Yeah,
Trustee Miller?
So I've had a couple of concerns about signage, especially no barbecue, no open flame, no grilling. Somebody brought up barbecuing and enjoying that.
Well, that would be something we would do outside of this
Okay,
tonight.
I
That's
just want
not
to
part
make
of
sure
what we're
that
doing
that's
here.
been addressed, and I
Yeah.
know you addressed it. With
Yeah,
the Park
we'll be
District.
talking to them about the drive direction arrows for the parking lot.
Good.
And bigger signage for like no barbecuing, no smoking, and all that.
Correct. Thank
That will be
you.
an issue we work one-on-one with.
Thank you.
This is strictly to the recommendation for the Plan Commission. Trustee Bush?
Yeah, my point to go on that screening would be to start with the outside just for the sake of safety. As you know, police are driving by on Chelmsford. I know somebody, I don't think they're here anymore, spoke about high school students and what they're doing kind of behind that curtain. So the more open you could be, obviously, if it doesn't affect the sound, would be beneficial. So it does have a more open feel and a more safe feel.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? So
When you say comments about adding,
when we vote,
well,
What?
I'll
Adding.
have a comment when I vote,
right. You want, yeah, that's why I'm going to give you a chance to comment at your vote.
at my vote.
Yeah, okay. So what I need then is a motion to have our attorney prepare necessary documents for approval of the pickleball with 9 PM lights out requirement, soundproofing to start at each end of the pickleball court, the sides at the start be open, but the ability to add soundproofing if deemed necessary after the operation of the facility, and extensive landscaping wherever the soundproofing is up to soften the impact of the look of that. I need a motion. We have a motion by trustee Prochnow, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Bush. Normally it's a voice vote, but I'm going to poll the board where they stand on it, and then we'll consider the voice vote. So we'll go from, work our way up. Trustee Bush?
Aye.
Okay, do you want to make any comments?
Thank the Park District for going back. Vicki, I liked your comments about how things change over the course of time. I had just some anecdotal evidence of people who came out today to the splash pad, loved it with their little kids. And one thing to remember is that we're serving a community of 32,000 people. And as Mayor has said many times, we have benefits and we have negatives depending on where we live, but it's a great town. I live right behind Beisterfield. When they widened it, there were more cars, there were more noise, and there's houses, for sale in Elk Grove and on my block, and they get over asking price. So I think there's a lot of benefits to making this community what it is.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Jerish?
Aye, but I would like to thank all the people who commented today. I think some of the things that I hope the Park District takes back with them, speed, congestion, safety, and for the neighbors, just to keep an eye on that. And I hope the conversations will continue. I loved your closing speech, Commissioner O'Malley, expressing your desire to continue to work with the community and making the park enjoyable for everyone. And thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Okay. Trustee Miller.
I also am fairly close as a resident to the park, and I've visited with my grandchildren 4 times since it's been open. Each time that I've been, I have been delighted to hear from the people that were there that said they loved it. My grandchildren loved it. The restrooms were clean when I was there. I was expecting them not to be because I went in the late afternoon, early evening, and they were clean. And I appreciate that. I appreciate people taking care of the park. I appreciate people taking care of each other and being respectful. I'm sad to hear that there was foul language earlier, and I hope that we can work together as a community to make sure that it's a good environment for children as well as for adults. I thought the playground was wonderful. It is. Somebody, Victor, I think you said it's like a course. It's great. My grandkids loved it. I am concerned about foot traffic, especially where you live, going around the corner. So I hope people will be respectve and go around the sidewalk instead of cutting through yards or making noise there. But I am fully excited about this park. And as a former employee of the Park District, thank you, because I think the staff is great as well. So I appreciate all the comments that were said tonight. Thank you.
In response to what Trustee Miller just said about foul language, that goes back to our 4th of July. We got to start getting this country back to where it should be. More family, more raising, giving direction to young people. They wouldn't have that kind of language. If I had that kind of language, I was playing Osborne Park 50 years ago, I would have been a sorry boy when I got home and saw my dad. And the neighbors would have told my dad what I did. We need to start getting a little more responsibility there. As far as, we talk about residents, Trustee Miller's grandchildren don't live in Elk Grove. They'll come from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So people say, well, out of town is coming. Yeah, her grandchildren from out of town. There might be people that work in the industrial park that may know about it and come on weekend and see it. I think that's great, because as the one young lady talked about who drove the bus, she liked the amenities she saw in Elk Grove. You know, this is like an example of what you want to attract people to come here. Again, you want to show off and brag what we have. That's what keeps good people coming to the village, the good stuff we have. And I said before, the park just does a phenomenal job. We're very lucky and proud to have that facility here in Elk Grove. Trustee Schmidt.
I'm going to vote aye. I think I'm the only trustee here that lives across from a park, and I understand some of your concerns because I have all the traffic. I have the cars parked in front of my house during the day when the kids are in the playgrounds, at the evening when they're playing organized baseball in the park, and at nighttime, when I get home tonight, I'm going to take my dog for a walk by the park. Last night, there were some kids in the playground. I had my flashlight, and they shaved them out of there. You know, they ran out when they saw my flashlight. But I got to tell you something. The park is very well maintained. The Park District does a good job. And the police department, I know when I was the chief and I was a patrol officer on the street, I always made it a point and told my officers, get out of the car and check those parks at night. I'm sure they're still doing it. So they call them what they call premise checks. So I'm sure that the officers will be walking through the parks at night, checking for any damage, anything. There's very few incidents in this community. Our kids out at night, yeah, do they sit on the swings and talk after it's dark out? Yeah, that does happen. But we don't have a lot of issues in the parks, very few. And I think that we have a very safe community here. And I'm sure that the officers will watch the traffic. I'm going to tell you this, when I was a police officer, I wrote a lot of tickets on Chelmsford, and the majority of them were from residents speeding down Chelmsford. So that's not going to go away. The number one complaint we have as chiefs of police is everybody has speeding autos on their streets. So I'm sure that the police department will watch this and watch that stop sign, and there'll be some attention given to that. But I think that overall for the community, I think it'll be a good thing, and I think the Park District will be very responsive to any issues that arise over there. And again, I will vote yes for this.
Trustee Frankie.
Okay, for the last 3 months, ever since the Planning Commission meeting, I've watched every park board meeting. I've talked to most of the park commissioners. I've talked to probably 100 different residents, all different sides. So first thing is, there's nothing wrong with being a NIMBY. NIMBY is just not my backyard, which you care about your neighborhood. So if somebody's going to say NIMBY because you care what's going on, there's nothing wrong with being called a NIMBY. But after watching all these meetings and the points they're bringing up, first thing I want to say about our Planning Commission, I was at that meeting. In a way, I didn't agree with the vote, but I could see why they came up with it, because I don't think the Park District was sure on what they wanted to do with some of the items, and the Planning Commission kind of saw that, and they weren't going to approve something that might still be in the works. The Park District said they would come back and talk to the residents. Well, since that March meeting, I've watched all the park board meetings. I've seen everything that people have come up and brought up to them. So to say that they don't know what's going on, it's been 3 months. So you maybe what happened in the past, I don't know about what they promised you, but in the last 3 months, everything has been out there and it's all been talked about. So I guess the only point I see in this is there's a lot of misinformation that was sent out. And I think it's almost to scare people. And I hate that. I hate Facebook because people just throw crap out there and they have no clue of what they're saying, and people buy that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this letter that was dropped off at my house that isn't true. And it's there to scare people, and that's the wrong way to get things done. Just say the facts, and the facts will come out right. The park board has told me that they're going to take everything into consideration, that if there's an issue with the sound or the park not being cleaned or anything else, they're going to step up to it. This is their park. The reason it's here is only because of what it was changed from a school to a park. That's why we have say. Other than that, you elected them. They're their own government body. It's their park. And they can basically do what they want, except it's got to come to us just for this clause. So I am going to vote yes for this. Now, it's a moot point now because it's pretty much 5 now, but I think the Park District will do what they say, and if not, then you go to the Park District and talk to them and get them to help you out. That's all I have.
Trustee Prochnow?
My vote is aye. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I really appreciate your participation and caring so much about your neighborhood, but I have every confidence that you're not going away, and you will work with the park board, and you'll let them know as they're progressing what's working and what's not, and I'm sure that the park board will be equally responsive to you. So I appreciate, again, all your time and effort that you've put into keeping Elk Grove the superior place that it is.
And again, folks, we appreciate all your efforts, all that. And they will stay on top of things. I know Trustee Miller said about picnicking. Actually, there's people trying to barbecue in front on Sunday. My daughter saw it, maybe where by the time I got over there, to show you how it works, by the time I got there, the police were already there. Asking people, please move on. You can't barbecue on parkland in Oak Grove Village. They went to Bussy Woods instead. So we are responsive. The police saw it long before I could even call them and talk to them about it. So we're going to be responsive. We're going to watch it. Again, Park, we're going to ask you, monitor it. If it gets bad, toward Connie's house, put the rest of the soundproofing up. If it stays good without it, keep it open. Make it more open, that way there. But again, in closing, one thing, we can agree to disagree, folks, that didn't want the pickleball. But we don't have to be disagreeable. And that's what's important. We all work together to move on. Secondly, I want to thank the Park District. I am so happy to see you spending money, investing in new things for the village, changing what's been there. I mean, what a difference. No offense to you, but I went to Appleseed Park with my grandkids compared to J.C. Park and now your new park. Please make the changes at all the parks that are out there. Please, because, I mean, you're doing a phenomenal job with new equipment, new way of having fun. It's phenomenal. So I thank you for spending the money, upgrading our parks, making them better, and innovatively changing things. Think outside the box. Please. We do it all the time. You got to look to change, to adapt, to adjust. So as a village board and the community. We thank the Park District for the good job they do and for partnering with this community and making things done. So with that said, motion passes 6-0. Attorney, do it. It'll be on the next board agenda in July. In the meantime, you're free to go ahead and get working on it. You do not need return, John, the Park District. It's already going to be approved. It's approved unanimously tonight. It's set to go. So we thank you. Folks, if you want to get moving now, I know it's getting late. Mr. Knickerbocker's tugging my leg. We got to finish up here. He's had a long day, and we'll get done here. Thank you very much.
I was just doing that because I liked it.
Okay, move on to the the Recycling Waste Committee. Trustee Frankie?
Oh, wow, we went to that already? Not that anybody now cares, but we had the recycling and electronic and paper recycling a few weeks ago, and I just wanted to say we had a record 733 cars. Wow. And we don't have the electronic number yet, but we had 15,780 pounds of paper shredded. So it was a good haul, and it ran perfectly. Thank you, Public Works. All the volunteers did a great job. So that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you. Member board, you guys stick around after the meeting. Want to get a picture by the banner, right? We just stand right here before you go. Judiciary, Planning, and Zoning Committee, Trustee Prochnow.
No report.
Capital Improvements Committee, Trustee Schmidt.
Just one thing, that Tiny Road construction on their way, be aware of that. I know that we're moving well on our reconstruction of our street plan this year, so just be aware when you're driving through the zones, watch out for the workers. That concludes my report.
Cable Television Committee, Trustee Jerish.
No report.
Youth Committee, Trustee Bush.
No report.
Information Committee, Trustee Miller.
Just a quick reminder that the new Villager newsletter will be coming out shortly, and in there is all the news you need and information you need about the upcoming special events, parking for special events, Rotary Fest, summer concerts, play picnic party. So please check it out because we have some great things coming up this summer. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Business Leaders Forum, Trustee Schmidt.
No report.
Health Community Services, Trustee Prochnow.
I did have a report, but I will reserve and save it for the next board meeting.
Very good. Personnel Committee, Trustee Schmidt.
No report.
No update on airport. Parade Committee, we have a meeting coming up in a couple weeks, getting close. Midsummer Concert Classic Series, we open on Beach Boys, then Martina McBride, then Neon Trees, then Four Tops, and finish Brett Michaels. Special Events Committee, there's no event coming up to Oktoberfest, which is Frankie Fest. No report on the Liquor Commission. Miss Maggie, you're in a tough spot at 10:05. Do you have a report as your first time this year as manager?
No report.
That's why she's manager. Jen, any report from the clerk?
No report.
Very good. Mr. Knickerbocker, nothing left with you as usual? I don't see anything as usual. New business items from trustees? None. Public comment, anybody here to address the board tonight? Yes, please.
Mayor, I just want to say this. My father lives in Hillside, Illinois, and saw Elk Grove Village on TV about Brad Kozlowski.
Wasn't it awesome?
He made me come tonight with all my Brad Kozlowski things, saying thank you for bringing Brad Kozlowski out to Elk Grove Village. He wants to know what time.
6:30 to 7:30. We're going to have the biggest American flag we've ever had in the village to the side of the stage where the Beach Boys will play.
Okay.
Right by Rotary Green. The car will pull and park right in front of that flag.
Okay.
And for an hour, he's going to meet all of his fans, take pictures, sign autographs, whatever you want. He'll give you a hug, he'll give you a high five, but he's there to meet you.
I've got earrings, I've got a shirt, I've got his cars, pictures. My dad's got everything of Brad Kozlowski. My dad saw this on Channel 2 News, called me immediately, told me, did you watch it? Did you watch it? You're mayor. I said, Dad, I missed it. He goes, I want you to go there to the meeting tonight, find out everything you can, write it down. I will be there.
How old's your dad?
My dad is 86 years old.
You make sure that night, I'll be by there, you make sure you find me.
Sir, I will find you. You will see me with my Brad Kozlowski. The last time he brought the car, I touched it and got yelled at. But, no, my dad and I have been race fans. I am 65 years old. I have been a race fan for 60 years.
Good.
And my dad and I will definitely be there with all of our race car stuff. And my dad is so proud that I live in Elk Grove and that you are the mayor and that he saw you on TV. He called me immediately and was so excited about it.
Well, thank you.
Does your dad
Stick
like
around after the
pickleball?
meeting.
Pardon me?
Stick around after the meeting.
Watch
I will.
Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Willie Galt on Channel 5. The commercial runs on Sunday mornings
Sunday mornings
on Channel 5.
on Channel 5.
Don't bring any water to Brad, he hates water.
Hey, I will bring everything that, I've got beach towel, my dad's got cars, I've got everything that says Brad Kozlowski,
Right?
everything.
Stick around after the meeting.
Okay.
I'll take care of
Yes.
that.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else wish to come out? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion adjourned from whoever, I don't know.
Whoever it
Jen's gotta
was.
work on it. Jen, call the roll.
Can you please repeat the motion?
I did.
Who'd you say?
So moved.
We had-
Second.
Joe Bush said so moved, and Tammy Miller said second.
Motion to adjourn.
Trustee Bush.
Aye.
Trustee Frankie.
Aye.
Trustee Jerish.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Prochnow.
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn, passes 6-0. Folks, have a good evening. See you in 1 month after the 4th of July. Meeting adjourned. Okay.